everybody? It's Rockman 3K3, and you're back for another great episode of the Nerd Plate. I'm one half of the Nerd Plate, my boy, my ace, my number one partner, my only partner I can do this with. He's out right now being a father out here in these streets. Love him to death. You love to see it. Support Black fathers. I just want to say congratulations to you, buddy. I know you're still out there taking care of the family, and I just think that's awesome. But he's taking a break, so while he's gone, I got some wonderful, fantastical, just imaginarily awesome and just great realistic people, real friends coming through, friends of the show, friends of real life, just all kinds of great stuff. They're all kind of illustrious, majestic guests, and I have them come through to kind of, nobody can take Chris, aka Cud, aka Leroy Ketchum's place, but these people are going to come in and just kind of sit with me and be their legendary selves, and I'm going to talk to them about it. And yeah, that's what these interviews have been about. So this next person, he needs no introduction. But this man is out here. He is the, I call him the executive for short, because he's out here. This is Cole Jackson Esquire. Make sure you put the pinky up when you see him in the streets. You might have seen him on a little old network called the BYNK Radio Podcast Network. You might have seen him on that. You might have seen him on some of the greatest interviews you might see in the Birmingham area with music guests all over, covering all kind of up-and-coming guests and music guests like Club Monster, Eugene Wright, just all kinds of cool people that you may not know yet, but once you hear them, they're dope. And this guy right here had it on his radio station, his podcast first. You might also know him from so many of his podcasts he put out with his podcasters. I say that plural because my man has a whole army of them. You got Black Lightning Batters. You got just all kinds of great stuff. Titan Hunt with the great Rain Coleman and the Carefree Black Nerd. You just got a lot of great things. But I'm going to let you meet him yourself, because this guy's legendary. He's a wonderful person, and he's just doing a whole bunch of business moves out here, and I'm just so proud of him, and I'm just so happy he would come hang out with me. I feel so honored. I feel so giddy. I get to sit next to the cool kid. Everybody, please welcome Mr. Cole Jackson of the BYNK Network. Cole Jackson, come on in here. How you doing, sir?
Hi. I got something on my teeth. What's going on here?
My bad. Got you at the wrong time.
eating good over here.
That's
my
right.
Nuts and berries. I'm actually about to start my cleanse tomorrow. So I'm serious. I'm about to start my cleanse. So
dude, that's great, man.
That's awesome. Thank you. It's actually BYNK Media. That just covers everything. That covers the podcast network. That covers the radio station. That covers all of it, the blogs, all that stuff. So it's BYNK Media. You can go to bynkradio.net to listen to music, listen to some of these interviews that I've had, the podcast network, everything, man.
That's awesome. That's all. Today is BYNK Media, man. Tomorrow's gonna be BYNK Nation. Productions out here.
You want to know something? Like, I honestly hope so. I want it to be on the level of Revolt, man. I want to be able to do movies one day.
It'll be better. It'll be better. I already feel it.
I really want to put it. I need a crappy straight to Netflix movie.
I'm telling
on
you,
my resume.
We can make a few, man. Those are Tubi.
I got some ideas. Yeah, I really want a Tubi. I want a Tubi special for real.
We can get a Tubi TV show right now, son. Make us a couple of thousand. Let's go.
They ain't ready for it.
Oh my goodness. So Cole Jackson, I'm so happy you're here, man, because I got so many questions.
Thank you, man. Nerd Plate. Ebony and Oddity at one point, and you guys were used to be a part of the network at one point in time. You guys actually were okay, let's open up the curtain, guys.
Let's do it.
Ebony and before it was the Nerd Plate, there were Ebony and Oddity, and Ebony and Oddity was actually one of the ground ship podcasts that actually started the podcast network.
It's true, man. It's true. Thank you.
I'm so appreciative that you guys have went on to do great things. I try to listen to you guys as much as possible until you start doing music takes and then y'all just fucking you take me out. But I try to keep up with the Nerd Plate, man. There are times when I'm out the loop with video games and stuff like that. So, but yeah,
Thank you,
Ebony and
man.
Oddity, I remember that with the crazy theme music that was banging.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, we're so hard on that. Oh man. Okay, so I'll just get into it because we're focusing on you today. Thank you, but we're focusing on
no,
you. Miss
no.
Cole Jackson, man. Tell me what inspires you to come up with the idea of BYNK? Because it's such a big monumentous like on taking task that you're just like, yo, I'm gonna do this. And like, I
Full,
mean, within a few years, here you are, you know.
full,
So
full circle moment. If you don't remember, you might not remember this. I came up with the idea in your living room at your spot with you and
oh,
Aunt.
dude. Oh man, at the
Yeah.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
said
yeah.
I remember coming over and we hung out. I don't even know why we were at your place, and I distinctly remember coming from a show. I came from a show. I seen an artist by the name of Lauren Michelle and
Mhm.
Eugenius performed that the night before, and we came over to your place, and I wanted to do something to help the Birmingham, the local artist scene. So I
Mhm.
was like, you know what? Let me just start a radio station because 95.7. I'm not going to speak their name, but local radio stations here wasn't playing them at peak hours. They weren't trying to get their music put out there. And
Mhm.
I wanted to have an opportunity to be able to let these artists flourish and shine on my platform. So I just decided to. I just said, "Fuck it." I figured out how to get it done, and it's been going ever since.
And that's awesome because, guys, for real, man, I remember that now. And I remember you talking about that because you used to tell us about these people. And we would just be like, yo, like, where'd you even hear about that? He's like, man,
Mhm.
it's out there. Y'all just got to get out in the city, you know. And Cole Jackson's always been such a huge fan of music. I mean, we all kind of are to an extent, but
Mhm.
this young man is like the guy when you want to
I
talk
am a
about
music
music.
nerd, dog.
Like
Like I am a music
we
nerd,
we
but
we sit and talk about sometimes music for like a while, and I forget some of the stuff that's on there. Like I'm like, oh man, I forgot. You know, most stuff did this, or like you know, we talk about other artists that like people don't even know. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So I love that you went on to pursue this, and I love that it just kept going. Now my next question is, how does Cole Jackson find so much talent that he has? Because you have so many people under your belt, like
Um,
how do you go out looking for this, or is this kind of just like a, you
are you
know,
talking about the podcasters, or are you just talking about like in general?
in general, everybody? Because I want to bring everybody, I want to give everybody credit because everybody's out
No, honestly, man, me being just a music nerd and just kind of so you have to understand, like the Birmingham scene is completely it's so good, but it's very hidden away.
there. Hmm.
And it's so many different pockets that's here in Birmingham. Like people don't even know. You got you got backpack rappers, you got lyricists, you actually have some really good trap artists, you have
Hmm.
all kinds of talent. And that's just barely scratching the surface, man. Like, you know, we got some cats that are on that hyper what's the name? What's the other genre? It's like a hyper pop scene here in Birmingham too. It's another genre of rap. It's like hyper pop, and it's dope, man. Like it's so many different layers. I just try to get out there, man. I just try to get out there and go to a lot of shows and
Hmm.
just see what's going on. Now the podcasting part of it, well, um, my partner, well, he's not my partner anymore. He's more of a man. He's a talent manager by the name of Robert Miller.
Hmm.
A lot of the podcasters that we have currently, he brought those to the table. Robert
Okay.
brought those to the table, and shout out to Rain, shout out to Sid. Both of those guys have been here from early stages. And Wit used to listen to a podcast I used to have called Government Name Podcast,
Hmm.
and she really wanted to have her own podcast.
Hmm.
Sat down, chopped it up with her, seeing that she was serious, which she was, which right now Sex for Friends is on their 34th episode, and they'll be a year old next month, believe it or
Okay.
not. And
Okay.
that's the first podcast I actually consistently produce. So just having conversations with people and trying to see where they are and what they want to do. And as far as like the artistry is just actually kind of getting out in Birmingham and hitting the scene and just going to a lot of shows and connecting and networking with a lot of people. I've networked with so many people and actually connected quite a few people with some different situations in the city too. So That's
And
it.
and I love that about all of us in our like little friend group. That's like our superpower because we will talk to anyone. Like literally, you
Mhm.
catch us at Waffle House, the movies, wherever. Like you can just jump in the conversation. Like, oh, okay, cool. So this guy
Right.
over here says, and like I
Right.
think that's our special power because it just is so infectious that it's easy for us to get anyone to talk. So I
Mm.
definitely agree with you on that in terms of just getting people to open up and talk to you. So I mean, even on your interviews, like I didn't see all of them, but I saw a few of your interviews with a lot of different artists, and they were just so great because you were, finding out more about where they came from, what
Mhm.
inspired them to, and then just asking them about the Birmingham scene and really, challenging them to get out there. And then on top of that, too, just asking them what they wanted to see more of and what people can do to support them, which I
Yeah.
think helped the music community out here so much. So,
You know what's funny, man? I think a lot of people don't really understand that some of these people here in Birmingham haven't never really had like a real interview before. And I'm not trying to discredit anybody else who's actually done interviews, but like if you hadn't sat down with me, you hadn't sat down with anybody. Because I feel like
facts.
I take artists super serious about like what they do. I understand the grind. I'm real big about independent artists getting what they need to get. And here recently, I've just been on this streak of like people. I've had a list of people I've been wanting to interview for a while,
Hmm.
and God, it has been amazing. It has been super amazing to be able to talk to a lot of people I've gotten to talk to and sit down with. And I still have quite a few to do locally. And then hopefully I can transition into moving more nationally with a couple. I got a couple of things that I'm trying to figure out or get. How can I put it? I've got a couple artists that are outside of being local that hopefully are like big fish that I can actually get and actually start putting it out there. Because I don't really do a lot of visuals
Hmm.
because I don't have the setup to be able to do visuals yet. Like if I'm not going to do visuals until it's right. But
Okay.
we've done really well on the interviews that we had, podcast wise, I guess. So it's just, man, I'm truly blessed to be able to do what I do right now. And I'm currently just trying to be like the new Elliot Wilson or Charlemagne or those type of guys. I love their
Okay.
interviews. I love how they interview their interview style and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get on that level.
Okay, okay, and I mean, I think you will because I think one of the great things that makes a great interview, especially from doing these interviews and doing interviews before, is being able to ask a person a question and then let them do the work by actually like talking and just like, okay, this is how I feel about that, but actually
Mhm.
letting them talk and then listen rather than just like, just try to get your point across and sell it. Like we've seen that before. Like people just like, nah, but what about this though? What about that? And you know,
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, right, man? Like, and a lot of people don't realize that. And I've seen this happen with a lot of people who do interviews. They make it more about them than they make it about the person that you're talking to. One thing that I've always tried to pride myself on is one, doing my research on that artist, and two, not even making it about me. I want
mhm,
people to an interview is basically a sale, like you're selling yourself, like you're
mhm,
selling your music, you're selling your persona. And right now in the time that we live in, especially in music right now, um you and your brand mean way more to people who you're trying to get to grow with you than
mhm.
anything else. People don't care. People don't come to them interviews for me. They come to the interviews with they it's like going to the movies. You don't go to the movies to see Chris Evans. You go to the movies to see Captain America. You feel me?
Exactly. The whole aura around that, not just
Right.
him.
The marquee doesn't say Chris Evans. It says Captain America and the Winter Soldier, whatever. So they don't come. They don't listen to the interviews for me. They're
Right.
listening to the interviews for whoever name is on their interview, and they want to learn more about them. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people who do interviews um don't realize. Like
Absolutely.
it's not about you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's never about you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I totally agree because, like, in my interviews, I'm just sitting there like, okay, cool. Tell me about, like you said, it's for me, I want to take your business card and make it like an hour long. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I want people to know all about, I want them to know so much about your whatever you're doing, your organization, your companies, that they're like, I have to go check that out firsthand.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I gotta go do. So absolutely, I totally agree with you on that.
And that's
Um
and last thing, one of the
Mhm.
biggest things that can help you, no matter how small the platform is that
Mhm.
you have something audio to kind of if somebody wants to, let's say somebody wants to Google an interview from you because your
Mhm.
music's so dope. It's like, I want to learn more about it. Like you have something on, um, you got something on your resume as far as as an interview that actually goes towards something and it means something. And I'm not saying I'm the only person in town that's actually like doing this shit the right way, but I mean, it don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
if you have people who want to know more about you, and if you sit down with me, I'm most definitely going to make sure that I'm going to put you in the best light possible. I don't sit down and talk about a lot of like messy shit. Like I don't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's really all about the music. It's all about the process. It's just
That's it,
that's
man.
what I'm all about when I talk to artists.
See, and that's awesome. Because I mean, me as a creator, that's what I am. I am my creations. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So, like, I've used them before in job interviews, and people on interviews it's like, "Oh my gosh, they're so talented." You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Like, you are your work, and it's
Mhm.
all about showcasing it. When you have that moment. So
Yeah.
when you're giving other people these moments, that's what you want to highlight is their moment to shine.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that, getting into more about you. Tell me about. Well, so I forgot to ask this too. I'm so sorry. How long has BYNK Media been
Oh, wow.
Don't worry, I'm showing my age too. It's okay.
No. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's more of a
Longevity, baby.
how can I fuck it? I'll tell how it is. BYK Media is only probably, I would say, 2 years old because I only have the LLC for 2 years. I've been
Okay.
working off of BYK Radio
Hmm.
for going on 7. I think it's been 7 years I've been doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
until the pandemic, get your popcorn in. So this is like my first interview, by the way. I've never been interviewed before.
Oh my God! Stop! You're
So
going to
this is
cry,
like my
man. This
first
is.
interview. So you about to get all the tea.
Let's get it, baby.
Uh Fuck it. In 2020, when the pandemic hit, and I was sitting here in my house working from home because I still have a 9 to 5. I seriously thought about just folding everything up and putting it in the trash, killing the website, killing everything.
Mhm.
And I don't know what happened. No, I'll tell you what happened. I got my money for what was the money that they was giving us
Oh, the
checks.
stimulus.
Yeah, I got my stems. I got my stems,
You
right?
got that stem. You got that
Yeah.
skimmy.
I got two stems. Like, so here's the thing.
Mhm.
I got my stems like late as fuck. I had really got my stimulus checks late as hell.
Mhm.
Don't ask me why. I guess Trump wasn't trying to holler at me. And I ended up getting my stimulus checks, and I looked at my money because it was a nice. They gave me a nice amount. Like, I think they gave me a little bit more because they were so late behind it.
Mhm.
And I looked at my money, and I was just like, "What am I gonna do?" And I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna bet on myself." And I took a gamble, and I was like, "If I'm gonna do this, or before I kill off what I love so much, um, let me invest in it." So I took everything that I had. I took all that money and I just invested in LLC. I tried to make sure I get a little bit better equipment. I made sure that I could kind of I just put my money towards different things and
Mhm.
investing in different things that we can use as far as like being able to do virtual stuff for all of my podcasters. They want to do virtual interviews. We have something for that. Made sure my Twitch was on point. Just took my money, just invested into myself, and made sure I had money to be able to do a lot of these interviews. I don't do these interviews virtually. I sit down with a lot of these artists, and that
Mhm.
takes money because I don't have a spot to do that. So I made sure I had money set aside to be able to do that for however much I needed to do that for. And I just bet on myself, man. And to be honest with you, it's been pretty good. Um, Even though we haven't started getting a stream, a money stream yet, it's coming. We've grown so much since I actually got the LLC.
Mhm.
So the growth is there, the numbers are growing. I had to look at it from a standpoint of like, I know that monetarily we won't be getting what we need to get yet until I actually have what I need as far as people that follow the website or people that actually like listen until our numbers look the way they need to look for us to be able to present somebody and ask them for sponsorships. I'm still hustling out here. But yeah, I was gonna kill this shit. Yeah, I was gonna kill everything. I was gonna follow it up and kill it. And then it
Well,
just looking at that money and just saying, well, what I can either this is what I was like. I can either try to get a PS5 or I can try to invest. No, seriously. I'm giving you everything right now. I'm letting it all go. I'm letting because I don't think anybody knows it.
thank you.
I said I can either do a PS5, I can get a PS5 and some games and some other shit, or I can try to invest my money into my legitimate business and see what I can do with it. And I'm not sad about what I did. I think I made the better decision. I'm happy. I'm creating. I don't think I've ever I'm stressed on a regular basis now because now I try to do music news on the Instagram now, the BYNK Instagram. But man, I'm happy that I'm producing podcasts. I'm still creating new podcasts. If I can actually get some people to actually sit down and actually get these things off the ground, because I have several ideas that I've been trying to get off the ground, but the limitations of people actually sticking with it and going forward with everything that I'm trying to do is a little harder than what I thought. But nah, man, I'm happy where I am. Hopefully I can quit my 9 to 5 and become a full-time content creator, a podcast producer, everything.
Yeah, man. It's and I really respect that and I admire that about you, because I didn't know that during the pandemic that you were just like, yo, that's it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I understand that because I've never wanted to trash my game, but like I understand the fear of that, because it's so like, what if I fail? And it's always like your hopes and dreams are always on the other side of your obstacles and fears. And then at the same point too, it's one of those things to where the greatest gamble you can ever take, or the greatest investment you can ever take, which in some cases is the same thing, is yourself, because you ultimately know that you're never going to give up. And then at the same time too, like you ultimately know, like, hey, this is something I really want to do. So it's the passion and drive. And when you put that towards yourself, because it's funny, we as people put all kinds of gamble and investment in everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Like Nintendo, like fucking Sony of America, like Miramax, all these other people, and then stock markets. But then, like, when it comes to spending money on ourselves, we feel so conscious and we feel so guilty about it. And so once you get over that and you just like, yo, like, nah, if I need this shit for my projects, that's what I need. You just kind of stick to it, and before you know it, that drive kind of comes back.
I think
I admire that.
And plus, I'm taking on a lot more opportunities now that I'm legitimate and I have an LLC to back me up than I used to when I was trapping out of. I was literally trapping out the trunk with a lot of the stuff that I was doing.
Man,
I'll be completely honest with you.
Everybody
but
does.
now that everything, my paperwork's right, and I legitimately have a business here. I don't have to worry about not saying yes to opportunities. I don't have to worry about. It's a lot of things I don't have to worry about anymore because I got paperwork now. My paperwork's straight. I did everything I needed to do to get my paperwork right, and I'm here now. One thing you said something about failure. Best thing I ever read was failure only lasts one day.
So
failure only lasts one day. You get up the next day, man, you're good. You feel me? So I don't. If I fail, man, at least I can say I tried and I tried to put my all into it. And who knows what might come from it, even after whatever happens in the future. I feel like at the end of the day, though, I feel like I'm gonna be successful in this shit. I just have to be patient and that 10,000 hours that they talk about, bro. Like you literally had to put that in, and I'm working on this shit every day. So that's how it works.
And it's funny, and we're so hard on ourselves, but everybody forgets that when someone buys a franchise, when you franchise out, like I'll give you an example. When you franchise out a Dairy Queen, right? You have to spend so many thousands of dollars just on the ice cream machines, and you don't even make profit until your second or third year. But when we go on these like kind of journeys for ourselves, we want to just like right then and there. We feel bad if it's not happening right away. And you just have to learn that, some shit takes time. Now, I've taken too much time, but you know what I'm saying? Like, some things take time. And so you just have to encourage yourself not to give up. And yeah, I like that. Like failure only lasts a day. You know what I'm saying? After that,
man.
Yo, it's a new day. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. You know.
Yeah, and then that's the cool thing about it, man. Like once you fail, you gain a shit ton of experience on what happened,
Absolutely.
and you learn not to make those same mistakes twice. And then you can actually invest yourself into something different. And I don't think that a lot of people look at that way. And it took me a while to understand that myself. So it's just one of them things, man, where it's just like, if it fails, at least I can say, yo, I put in my work. I gain a shit ton of skills being able to, because it's like, man, I've learned so much being a podcaster and a content creator. And now that I'm a producer, it's just a lot of things that I'm just like learning and going through the motions with, which, man, if that shit don't benefit me later on, then I don't know what the fuck gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm being honest. I got something like, hold on, man. Hold on.
Yeah, you good. You good.
All right. I kept seeing something in my teeth. I was like, man, why ain't anybody tell me something in my teeth?
I like that smooth.
I'm on video, nigga.
I like that smooth little slide back to the microphone. Like, all right, I'm back.
Yeah, I had to slide back in to make sure it wasn't into my teeth no more.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
I know. Yeah, I got some female watching. Like, what's up, ladies?
So extra, man. So extra. All right. Here's another question for you. Now, out of the interviews, because you've done so many interviews with a lot of music guests and a lot of artists, who is the most memorable to you? Like, you don't have to say favorite, because all of them were good. And, we're not playing favorites here, but just what was the most memorable to you that you were just like, when you did the interview, you were just like, wow, like I felt something. I felt a spark.
That's a tough one. Damn, I talk shit about these artists when they do that shit now. This is on me, and I'm doing the same thing. There's actually two of them. There's two.
Okay.
There's an interview I did with the last interview I did with Club Monster, and the reason being is because that was something. Shout out to Red and Mr. On Point, because they both showed up. That was probably one of the first interviews where I had like some dope ass pictures. I had dope ass pictures.
Very great interview. I saw that.
I actually had a YouTube video for it. I had that was the first interview I actually had with like really good equipment for a change, like better mics, and I had a mixer and I had everything that I needed. And it was just awesome. And that was like I was in rare form. That was just I'll never forget that. And I love Club Monster. Club Monster is like one of my favorite groups, period. You know what I'm saying? Like not just in Birmingham, really like they're one of my favorite groups. Them niggas make some great music.
They do.
And my second one it's got to be Luke Crowder.
Okay.
Because Luke Crowder, one, Grammy nominated Luke Crowder, by the way.
Okay.
He's Grammy nominated. He's a Grammy nominated producer. Okay. He was the reason that I started back interviewing, because I had stopped. I hadn't done anything since 2019. And the thing is, me and Luke actually have a group chat, and we go back and forth. And he hit me. He actually hit me in the Instagram DMs. He was like, when you gonna do more interviews? I was like, brother, what you talking about? He was like, for real, when you gonna start back doing interviews? He's like, I love them things, man. And I told him, I said, the only way I'll start back is if you got to be my first interview back if I start back interviewing. He was like, no problem. I'm with it. Because he's like, I need more. Like he I ain't gonna tell that story. But
yeah, okay. But right. No time.
Yeah, but Luke was like, you don't really shit. You don't never understand the impact you have on certain people until they actually sit down and tell you have that impact on them. Or you never really understand that like people really do appreciate the type of shit that you do.
Absolutely.
I felt very unappreciated in Birmingham. I felt very unappreciated before I started back doing interviews. I felt super what's the word? I felt very not respected. And I still feel like that sometimes too. I just have these. I was feeling like really, really down on myself as far as like this content creation stuff and interviewing and all of that stuff, and it felt horrible. And just to know that somebody like Luke, who is again, Grammy nominated, and it's just like, yo, I still listen to some of your old interviews, and like, I still want those to come back. Man, that felt good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know he enjoyed them that much, and he didn't. But he was just like, yo, man, you got the pulse. You have the pulse of the culture, bro. Like, you don't even realize that. And I was like, well, I just told him, I was like, man, if you're my first interview back, I'll start back interviewing again. And ever since we linked up and did that interview, I've been going ever since. I've been very consistent this year, and I'm so thankful for that too, because I don't think I've ever been this consistent as far as like sitting down with artists in a long time. So I'm blessed, man. I ain't gonna even hold you. I feel super blessed to be able to continue to do what I'm doing. I'm super happy that people are actually getting positive feedback from these interviews. I'm just happy that this stuff is happening in that way, and I'm just. That was now I get why artists do what they do when I ask that question, because that's a
loaded question, baby. Yeah,
that's a hard question. That's a very hard. I didn't know that question was so hard, but it really is.
Yeah.
But those would be my two. Those are the two that inspired me the most and made me happy that I'm able to do this. So it would be Luke Crowder and Club Monster, the last Club Monster interview I did.
Okay. Awesome. Now, speaking of what you do out here and the BYNK Media, of course, I've had your boy Amon. I've kind of adopted him into the fold, but Rain Coleman,
the hardest working podcaster in the world. He down now though. He's down. He
even when he down, he's still popping 5 out. Like what?
He's down right now. That's the hardest working podcaster.
I'm gonna go from 100 to like I'll give y'all 5 shows this week. That's cool. I'm like, bro, like you can take a whole month off, man. You deserve it. It's very funny.
We got something in the tuck now. We have another podcast we're gonna do together, and I think people are gonna like it.
So that's what I was gonna ask you, because it's very funny. Me and him talked for a minute, and of course we're talking nerd stuff because both of us X-Men nerds, Marvel nerds, and just overall nerds. Period. He said talking with you, especially when y'all did like Black Lightning Battle, which is my favorite, by the way, because y'all, oh my god, like especially when we went to the 3rd season, y'all just like this is trash, but we just go stick with it.
They got ridiculous. Black Lightning got ridiculous by the 3rd season, and we had to stop being nice.
Seeing y'all in that marriage was great because y'all just like we're here. Like I don't love them no more, but we're here. You know, and like
right.
It was such a great conversation. But he said that whenever he does projects with you guys work together or just simply on the phone together, y'all spend hours together, just like going back and forth. And he's like, like Cole Jackson, and to quote him was like, it's just so witty, and it's somebody I can go back and forth with, and then he'll just say something, and I'll be like, oh man, you're right, I never thought of it, like, which is true. That's how both of y'all are. How is that, and how what makes you work on the chemistry with your podcasts? Because even when I was listening to Sex with Friends a little bit, like you'll chime in every now and then, like, wait, so they did what? And the way you do it is very cool because it's a third person kind of thing that works with the chemistry, even with Sex and Friends.
Yeah.
And so like what do you think inspires you to do that? Like, I mean, I know with you and Rain Coleman might be something different because y'all just have that good flavor and chemistry together. I mean, again, Lightning Matters is hilarious. That's the first loaded question with Rain Coleman and your podcast is the chemistry. But the second loaded question is, when are y'all going to do a whole thing about Atlanta? Because I already talked to Rain about this, and I do have an Atlanta question for you before we move on to the video game section.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
But when are y'all gonna do that? Because I gotta be on that, or at least just let me know because I'm such a fan.
We are two. So okay, that's a lot. Let me answer your Atlanta question first. We're not going to do an Atlanta podcast. I'm sorry. We can't. Like, the show is done. This is the final season. So it's like we're too little too late on that right now. So we can't get that out. Yeah, I know.
Even if you would just like a season synopsis, because I pitched that to Rain. I was like, what if y'all just do a season synopsis? Like every season you just do like a big kind of review of the whole season rather than.
that would come down to when Rain is free and when I'm free. Because right now we neither one. Because Rain for a lot of people who don't know, Rain is a writer. He writes books,
All day.
and so yeah, he's a writer, and
Consistently.
he's
Yes.
been in his book, in his book thing, doing his book thing, and it's like for us to find time, and it's like for me, I'm sitting up here producing podcasts and currently managing all the social medias, and I do a yeah, you forgot to mention I do a radio show every Thursday. It's called
You
Thursday Night
sure
Lights.
do. It's so good, man.
It's a
So good.
live radio show on BYNK Radio every Thursday.
Go check it
I'm
out.
playing I'm
Amazing.
playing I'm playing hip hop, I'm playing R&B. I leak if I get some music early.
Mm,
I might leak something every now and again. I don't
okay.
know.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if I get it early, I might leak a song or two. But we're not gonna do an Atlanta show. We can't. It's I think I think the time for us to do it is kind of like if we could have caught it in season 2, hell yeah, we would have went ahead and did it.
But
it's
and,
just,
it has so much layers to it. It has so many
yeah,
layers to it.
and it's like it's hard to it takes a lot of work to do those types of podcasts, to be honest with you. Because when we were doing Black Lightning, this was like we wanted to make sure we do it the day after. We got to get it, we had to get it recorded, edited. Who gonna do the editing? All those other things. So it's a lot that goes with that, especially when you want to be topical and on time. It's hard. So but do I talk about it? I can't bring it up yet. I'm not gonna bring it up, but we do have. We have a TV show podcast bubbling. We're in the ideal phase. We haven't really got everything written out yet, but it's coming. We got something coming for you. So just like we have a movie podcast called We Watch This.
Yes,
that's a movie podcast that we do. We do Black cinema. We celebrate Black cinema when we watch this. So
I was part of
we just finished up season 3, which was celebrating Spike Lee and John Singleton. So
okay.
Chemistry. What was the chemistry question again? I kind of
the chemistry was like, the chemistry between Rain Coleman and you is like a very good example of how most of your chemistry leaks onto like a lot of like when you work with your podcasters. Because I mean, you when you had your own show up, of course, the great government name.
Yeah.
It was just very good chemistry between you and Shogun. What is the driving force behind that? Is that because with us, we get in there and we do the natural conversations and we just bring it out. But
let me be honest, and let me give this man a lot of credit too. That came from podcasting with me and Shogun have been podcasting for so long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Like we did government name for so long, and then it got to a point to where like sometimes when you podcast with a person, when you do a joint show together, like sometimes you just know how to like come in and know when to be funny, know when not to be funny, when to pull back. You bring that from that. You like there will never be anybody who had as much chemistry as me and Shogun had on government name. But I thank that man because we did it for so long and we learned how to like make it work. And if it wasn't for him and us doing that, I don't think I could have chemistry with anybody. But being able to podcast with somebody like Shogun and being able to learn, like I learned a lot by doing government name podcasts. I learned so much. I owe that man a lot because he taught me a lot from doing that podcast. And God, we just you take certain gems away from certain things and you apply them to different stuff, and it just you can watch. That was the seed that made a lot of trees in my what I'm doing now grow. And I think a lot of that chemistry just came from potting with Shogun for so long. Like for real. No, I'm dead ass serious. Like I potted with him for so long. I just learned how to have chemistry with other people. You just learn people, bro. And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's the same, but when it comes to podcasts, and you know who let's be honest. You know who can podcast and you know who can't pod. Some people just can't pod.
Can't do it. They cannot do it. They can't go for 3 hours. Can't do none of that. They're just like 10 minutes in, like, all right, so what do I do now? You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, talk. That's the whole point of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give me interesting topics, dude. You know. And it's so funny.
By the way, this is not beer. This is liquid death. So I don't drink, guys, but I have to have water while I'm potting.
I find it hilarious that you talked about, you know, how long you guys had, because a lot of people don't know y'all had 2 seasons of Government Name, you know, before the erasure and after the erasure, you know what I'm saying? And Black Box, you know. So
yeah, we did Black Box. We had the plane crash that everything got lost in, and then we had the rebirth of Government Name. And yeah, me and Shogun probably, in all honesty, we've probably put up close to 500 episodes of that show. I ain't gonna hold you, probably more than that. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because we were cranking that shit out, and it was good, and it was funny, and it was great. But you know what's funny, man? A lot of people might have looked at that as like, how can I put it? Wasting away. And I got a big ass education from doing that podcast. Like I love, like one thing that anybody, if you ask anybody, even Shogun, he'll tell you I loved doing that podcast. Loved it. I love that shit more than my mama. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because
every episode
that podcast allowed me to show that side of me, and I could be who I wanted to be on that podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like I could actually kind of like be myself, even though I had to pull stuff back sometimes. But I could say some of the most wildest, outlandish shit on there. And we talked about so many murder. We were so ahead of, you know what's funny too? We were so ahead of the curve, and like a lot of people really didn't realize that shit. We were talking about shit before the shit actually happened.
Right, y'all
and a lot of that shit,
and then a year later, you know what I'm saying, it would just happen.
And I have to I gotta applaud Shogun for a lot of that shit too, because like without him, neither one of us would have been so ahead of everything. So I always want to give him credit for a lot of stuff that, as far as like me being the podcast that I am, and just the things that we did. Nigga, we were way ahead of our fucking there was no podcast doing skits out here in these streets. Delroy and Mal are like doing skits and shit. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
What else do they have? And it was,
you get what I'm saying? Like we were innovating things.
Oh, absolutely.
If we would have learned how to grow our audience better, we would have been up there. We started around about the time Joe Budden had started. We would have been up there if we could have figured out a way to get our shit recognized by the right people. And there's no doubt that we could have been Deezus and Mero, but better.
Oh, absolutely. Because who can forget Snatch.com? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And,
racist Randy Savage. Racist Randy Savage, dog. And this is our fucking crazy minds sitting down and saying, let's do this. Why the fuck not?
Or remember the Dr. Dre and Chronic? No, what was it? No, Relapse. Was it Relapse or Chronic that y'all make fun of?
Oh,
it was Chronic, wasn't it?
No, it was what was Detox?
Detox. Oh God. Yeah, man, we can detox and he never.
Right. And we were just very, you know what? We used to sit up and we used to sit at his place and just come up with the most outlandish shit and then be like, you know what? Fuck it. And it was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Yeah. And we would just go. And that's the thing. That's the thing about, that's why I loved doing Government Name, because the creative side of me, the creative side of both of us would come out and we would just write the, and a lot of that shit came out on Racist Randy Savage was just a random ass fucking, that was just Shogun doing a Randy Savage voice. And I was like, what if he was racist? And he was just like, oh yeah.
Regular ass Hulk Hogan. Y'all are, man.
Because regular ass Hulk Hogan was really racist. And people never caught the jokes.
Oh my God.
We had jokes going over people's head. I'm like, we're too smart for this shit. We're way
highbrow,
too smart
man.
for this shit.
Too highbrow. It was man. If Government Name was like a skit show, like In Living Color, man, y'all would get the full 5 seasons, and then Fox would take y'all off.
That was. Let me tell you something. And I don't know if I ever talked to Shogun about this or not, but that was my end game. I was like, if we ever get an HBO deal, I want our shit to be a fucking skit-based show where me and this nigga sit down, talk about topics, and then go to a skit. And I wanted it to be that. I basically wanted it to be what Michael Shea show is.
You know what you got to please do that. You still got to do that. And then what you got to do is you got to have y'all sitting at a table. You got to get a round table in the middle of the stage and just sit at the table.
If I ever get a deal, I want the setup to be basically Shogun's apartment.
Yeah.
I want to build a stage that's exactly what we're used to. And we just sit around and do the pod, and then we go to a skit, and the skits happen.
Yes.
If he's ever willing to come back and do if I get enough money to lure him back, I will most definitely say, hey,
I mean, just the mental health skits alone. I need mental health day. School's hard, Dad.
Yeah. We did, and one of my personal favorite ones was Guns in the School.
Guns. Yo, the skit from that alone was hilarious. It was like, wow.
I'm telling you, nobody. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Nobody was touching us. No. And we just never got an opportunity. We never really just got our foot in any particular door. And we never really got a chance to like get the following that we needed for somebody to recognize us. Because I guarantee you, man, if we ever would have got that situation, we would have been huge. And people would have been like, these niggas are fucking hilarious. I go back and listen to episodes all the time, and I'm like, we were fucking. I said, we're too smart. We're too smart. I think we got some episodes that were like super serious, and it got a little super serious. But you need that when it comes to podcasting, because if you're funny all the time, nobody's gonna ever really take you seriously when you stand on some shit. And that was the cool part. And we never really agreed on a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? It had that podcast had everything that people needed. And I still get people like, man, when y'all coming back? I'm like, I think that show is dead, brother. That show is in the grave. You know what I'm saying? So
that's what I said.
But I've always, and I know Shogun is a little too macho for this, but I love that nigga, man. Because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even know what podcasting was or anything like that. That nigga approached and was like, I want to do a podcast. I was like, shit, count me in, nigga. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But I love Shogun for even just introducing me to being able to do this type of stuff, man. We was trapping off of a motherfucking recorder, nigga. We was making podcasts out of a fucking school recorder. Get the fuck. Y'all niggas don't know the fucking struggle. Y'all will never know the fucking struggle with your good mics and your fucking roadcasters and all that other bullshit. Man, fuck y'all. Y'all don't know.
Y'all went outside. They went outside.
Going through a fucking recorder. we trapping our podcast off of one fucking Yeti mic. You feel me? Like we just doing shit until we got to a point to where like we had the equipment that we needed. Man, some of these people who do podcasts really disgust me because some of y'all niggas suck and y'all niggas don't know the struggle.
Got all the good toys, don't even know how to use it. They just be like, okay.
Now I'm on my Joe Budden shit. But y'all, I hate you niggas. I hate you niggas.
No, I'll be like, y'all my sons. You know what I'm saying? Pay dues.
No, man, but on some real shit, man. I love Shogun. I never would have known how to. I would have never. This whole life of doing podcasts or even thinking about it being something that's a legitimate business or legitimate. I'm thankful for him coming into my life and helping me realize that shit.
Shogun is he's so good at podcasting and he's so unapologetically himself that even when he came on my podcast, he just took over and left. And I just be like, nigga, this is my show. You know that, right? But I mean, he was just so good at it. I'd just be like, proceed, sir. Proceed.
You know, it's funny too because it's like some people have a voice and they have things that they want to say and they want to get it out and be unapologetic about it. And that's one thing I've always let me be real. I've never always liked it because sometimes it can be out of bounds.
It's just like,
but I always respected it. I've always respected it. Like,
and
a lot of guys
in exchange. He always respected you in exchange. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a lot of people out there. It's not a lot of people out there that'll sit up there and say what they say, stand on it, or what's even harder to do, and a lot of people don't realize it is he will step up to the plate and say, "My bad, I got it wrong."
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Every time. There used to be so many. Remember, we used to have all those edits in. Like, all right, y'all. So I was tripping. I actually went back and did research. Like, that was really cool about him. Is that, like you said, like he would be like, "Yo, I was wrong about this. Here's what actually happened, and then here you go." And then even when you were right, when y'all arguing back and forth, you would go back and be like, "So Cole Jackson was right. I don't know what I was talking about, but here's this." And I thought that was really cool, and that's a testament to his character. Always, always. But
that just, man. Bro, that's just come from podcasting with each other for so long and just knowing or just understanding and respecting it. Like you gotta, it's like selling dope, nigga. You just gotta respect the game.
That's it. Put in dues, baby. Put in dues. You know who corners who. You know what you're selling. Blue tops, red tops. You know what it is.
All that shit.
Shout out to The Wire.
So greatest show ever made.
Greatest show.
Did you have a third question? I don't know.
I did. So no. So my third question was an Atlanta question because you answered that first, but then I was like, no, I got a question about Atlanta because we all watched that and I love that show. I think people don't agree. I think Donald Glover is so underrated because he's so intelligent and he's so fucking smart and hilarious. But I gotta ask you, based off the social commentary you've seen in Atlanta and you know the what made you laugh and then what made you just like, yo, that's a real black moment, that truly signifies me. How do you feel about Atlanta as a series overall and what it means to the black culture?
Oh man, that's one of the best shows that we've gotten. I think Donald Glover and what he has put out is amazing. And I think a lot of people don't. Man, look, man. Let me be honest with y'all. Let me be honest with you. That show knows what it's so smart, and it does so much. And a lot, like the last season, people was really tripping off the last season and like how the season was, how they did. They went off and did like these little side stories and stuff like that. Man, I thought that was amazing. Like they were talking about how shit really happens. Like the white kid who grew up with the black nanny. And
that was great. Chet Hayes. Chet Hayes was in that, bro.
Or the Liam Neeson episode with the bar when everybody was canceled. Come on, y'all.
And they actually got Liam. And it was funny. It's like Donald Glover's not like, oh, I'm gonna get a Liam Neeson lookalike. He got Liam Neeson. How do you get Liam Neeson to make fun of himself? That motherfucker's a genius. Because even in the latest episode, we just saw
the Crank That Killer.
Bro. Soldier Boy. Yo.
The Crank That Killer, dog. I said, you are genius. The first episode of this season probably touched me the most because they basically were talking about MF Doom, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Like, that was so cool, man. As a person that was a fan of MF Doom, and like when I heard them talk about what he was doing and the name, I was like, "Oh, because that was really dope." Because MF Doom got some flowers. Everybody did what they do on Facebook, but like to go that far to give him tribute because he was so underground in hip hop, but everybody knew about him. Everybody. I mean, from Ghostface Killer to like all the new people now, they knew about him, but nobody's like, oh man, we need to give MF Doom his flowers. Yeah. But like for Donald Glover to actually do that, and then how he did it at the end, where he's just like, it was just about having fun, and I thought that was so dope because it was, man. It was.
And I thought it was dope that he did like a scavenger hunt to find his funeral. Yeah, I was like that. That's very Doom, MF Doom-esque.
Oh, man,
I was like, I said that was amazing. That was amazing.
One, and I love the therapy episode because I feel like it was the dichotomy of both sides. Because while he was getting better, the whole episode you saw like, no, he needs to go back to therapy because the way he did at the end and how that, transcribed.
I do some of my best work out of spite. I like when people doubt me. No, I'm serious. I related to that episode a lot because I was like, if I ever get this bag, that's gonna be me. I'm ruining somebody's life because they didn't want to take my raggedy ID. Oh, you're done.
I can totally see you doing that because remember he told Jason, he's like, "Hey, you next." He's like, "Let go play." He's like, "No, I'm serious."
No, I'm serious. Nah. I work better out of spite. I work better when people doubt me. I work a whole lot harder when people try to. I have a chip on my shoulder on a regular basis. I'm not gonna even lie. I literally have a chip on my shoulder all the time, and I think sometimes that goes towards my personality and my attitude towards things at times because I feel like people doubt me a little too much, or I feel like I don't get the respect that I deserve. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like that at times, and I'm like, okay. Now I'm gonna show you what it is. You know what I'm saying? You did this way. I'm gonna show you what it is. And it's just like I had to change a lot of my behaviors and my habits because I really want this shit to work, and I really want to be able to have a job that's not a job. I love creating. I love making content. I love being able to collab with people on the podcast network. I am currently a podcast producer now, and that. As hard as it is sometimes to do that, I love it. I sit down, I figure out how the show is going to run, the time the show is going to run. We set up, we have production meetings. I mean, I handle everything as much as like a business as I possibly can because all I'm doing is practicing for when I get the bag. So when I get my bag, all I got to do is say I'm ready for it and I can suit up and do what I need to do. But
absolutely.
I love it. I love it. This is something that I just feel like I'm born to do, and this it's like I feel like it's my purpose, bro. Like no bullshit. All bullshit aside, like I really feel like that's my purpose, and I don't regret anything that I've done. I've had some very hard times investing into my business and investing into like this digital media stuff because it's just I believe in it that much. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of the things, man.
That's awesome, dude. I think that's a great. I admire that about you, and I think that's a great skill to have because like passion for me is. So it's not spite for me. Like spite can't draw me as hard as it does y'all, but like passion definitely drives me to go above and beyond.
Yes.
So many people have told me like, "Yo, you're never gonna be a game designer. You ain't gonna do it. Like, why are you doing this shit? It still ain't come out yet." But I just ignore that and keep going because much like you, like I love that creation. I love the method, thinking about stories, writing stories, and just like seeing it through to the end. So even though I'm still working on the Kingdom of Hell coming soon one day, you know what I'm saying? Like I enjoy that. That's something I love and I chase.
I ain't gonna play it.
Yeah.
I don't like RPGs. I am a man in 2K nigga.
I hate y'all, and it was funny.
I am a man ass nigga. If you ever, not man. I'm a 2K ass nigga. If you ever seen one going your way.
I am glad you brought that up, sir, because we're gonna get into the video game part of it. Because of course, I wanted to make most of this interview about you, Mr. Cole Jackson, but I also wanted to get your opinion about a lot of the video game stuff. Because of course, me and you go back and forth about video games a lot. Whenever we
used to work we used to work in hell.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The video game hell. Yes. Yes, which I don't know how the fuck they're still up after all they do, but whatever. So the funny thing, I'm glad you brought 2K.
They just bought they just if you didn't know, they just bought the rights for that GameStop movie.
I saw that and I'm just like, okay. So I'm glad you brought 2K because I have a question for you. Because that's funny you said that, but I'm not an RPG nigga. I'm a 2K nigga.
I'm 2K.
It's funny because they putting RPG shit in all y'all shit, and y'all just like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Stats, no, that's fun.
I don't play that shit.
A whole story, this is fun. And because I remember,
I stopped playing them story modes a long time ago. Leave that to Leroy Ketchum. Let him do it. I don't want to do that shit.
Y'all making Mass Effect decisions in the story, like, if I do
I don't play that shit. That shit is lame to me. That's for lame. Hey, if I disrespect you on this podcast, I'm sorry, but that's for lame niggas, dog. I'm sorry, cuz that's for lame niggas.
You just shooting the ball. You just there to play
Yeah,
ball.
okay. I'm gonna call myself lame too, because I like to do the GM stuff. But like as far as like that
But
story
that's
mode
different
shit,
though. But
that shit is terrible. And most of y'all, if we being real, most of y'all niggas don't do nothing but VC your character up, nigga. Get out of here. who the fuck are you? You buying badges, bitch.
I hate that, like, it's turning, and it's funny because it's as much as like, because a lot of people just like, oh, RPGs for turn based and your decisions and your story, and then here go fucking 2K putting all that shit in, Assassin's Creed, all these other. I'm just like, how can y'all make fun of us anymore when half of our shit is already in y'all shit? Matter of fact, they trying to make RPGs more great for y'all. Like, they about to make Final Fantasy 16 fucking Devil May Cry.
You know I don't play Final Fantasy.
I know, but fucking Chris don't either. He about to do it.
He about to get up in
it. He about to play Final Fantasy 16 because it's basically Devil May Cry now. Because you only have one person and it's an action game. It's not turn based. So
see, I'm at the loop of Final Fantasy. I don't give a fuck about this. I really don't care about Final Fantasy. Like,
it hurts my heart. But I want to ask
you. That's for the people who like Final Fantasy. I don't like that.
I mean, no, I'm just saying where Final Fantasy is going.
I was about to say something real outlandish, and I was just like, I don't want to get canceled. Because Twitter, because Final Fantasy Twitter would have went crazy on me. So
all right. Well, so now here's my question with you in terms of video games, because I wanted to ask you about some topics. So some hot topics is out right now. So the first one is something you wanted to talk about, and I wanted to ask you about it and how you felt about it. Callisto Protocol, my guy.
Getting it. They sold me on the first trailer.
Woo!
I think I have it. I think I pre-order. I'm still a lame nigga that still pre-orders at GameStop. I think I have my copy pre-ordered and paid off already. I'm getting that game. That shit is awesome. And then they're gonna do like this. Oh, Dead Space remaster. Remake
at the same.
Or whatever. But y'all some lame, cuz stop.
They trying to recapture the magic because they mad Visceral left, or they got rid of Visceral and now they do it well. But that's how EA rolls. So yeah, bro. I can't.
Always trying to holler at your old girl, knowing she like her new nigga. Love him. I love him.
Facts. But it's crazy, man, because it looks great. The action is on. I mean, this is basically the Dead Space 4 we always wanted, but they were just like, hey,
I think that the atmosphere in that game is a lot better than Dead Space. And I'm not downing Dead Space, but what I'm saying is I think with newer tech that we have now,
make a whole lot more area.
A whole lot more. And I'm like, this is going, even though I don't have any of that newer tech, I'm still trapping off the old Xbox One, but you know how that goes. But
You'll come up though. You'll come up.
But I think with the newer tech and with the newer systems, with the current gen systems, I really feel like Callisto Protocol is gonna be like unbelievable. I literally was like, I'm getting that. Like I seen the trailer for it early. Mm-hmm. I think before was it before Gamescom? Before
because
E3?
Yeah, because I forgot. I think either Summer Games. I forgot who showed it.
Yeah,
but somebody else showed it, and it was just out of nowhere. We're just like, what is that? Like,
I said, I'll take that, please. So yeah, I think I went and pre-ordered it, but I think they pushed it back. It was supposed to come out in December. Mm-hmm. Is it still coming out in December?
No, I think it's 2023 now.
I don't care.
They do that because they're trying to put some on the books for the fiscal year. Because you are, I mean,
still gonna get it, baby. Still gonna get it, baby. Still gonna. It's already paid for.
Now, speaking of fiscal year and video game companies trying to make it, how do you feel about the Microsoft acquisition and Sony being a hater on Microsoft right now?
What was the acquisition?
So to bring you up to speed, the acquisition of Activision and Blizzard. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they bought somebody else.
No.
They always buy
one person at a time, buddy. One person at a time.
Because I know wasn't the Sony one Bungie?
Sony with Bungie, because they went Bethesda, so Sony's like, all right, we're gonna get Bungie then.
Yeah.
Here's what's funny. So Microsoft pretty much had Activision Blizzard, and I know you know about the acquisition, but so now they were pretty much at the checkout line, about to go to the door, And they started like, wait a minute, I think they stole something. And now the UK commerce is looking at it. The CMA is looking at it. And then Brazil's like, well, I don't know if these two big guys are looking at it. Now we got to rethink. So now they're like, this might be an antitrust thing. Cole Jackson, how do you feel about that? Do you think
Haters are going to hate?
The Chris
haters gonna hate, man.
the Chris Paul Jesus Christ for the truth.
As Drake, they be hating on Drake all the time. Haters gonna hate, bruh.
Why? But okay, so here's my question to you, because I asked Chris on the last show, aka Bucket Hat Show, all his 50,000 names. Why are they hating? Because, when they bought Bungie, which is essentially the same thing, except they had Destiny, a free-to-play game that just started taking off and they started to get money. Nobody said anything, but when Microsoft's like, we're going to take Call of Duty, y'all don't mind. Oh, no, wait a minute. Now, you do that, you might control the destinies of people buying your system over ours, and we can't have that. A whole bunch of regulations. I don't feel sorry for either one of these companies because, if the shoes on the other
Microsoft
foot,
and Sony?
Yeah, because if the shoes on the other foot, Sony would totally be buying Activision right now. And I think that's why they're pissed, is because they can't buy it.
Well, you step your weight up, nigga. I can't even buy a PS5. Get your weight up. And then it's like, we got some new models. Yeah, in the UK. What about me? I'm American. I need American stuff.
Cole Jackson,
get your weight up, Sony.
Is Sony the dude from Belly that's on the corner with the banana?
No, Sony. I don't like that. Sony is like at the Player Haters Ball.
Oh no! Hey!
Right. That's who Sony is. They AC at the Player Haters Ball, man.
Bro, I'm just like, why are y'all hating? Like, and Call of Duty, like, honestly, I get it. Call of Duty brings in numbers. But it's
have you seen the numbers for what is it? Modern Warfare 2? Modern
Warfare? Yes. Yeah.
That shit is about to go crazy.
And people waiting, they can't wait for Modern Warfare.
Yeah, the beta. The beta did well.
God, yeah.
Everybody loved the beta. Like, they're about to get back to they're getting their swagger back.
But and here's my thing, and I get if Microsoft decides to buy Activision Blizzard, they have two big first-person shooter franchises. They could just be like, all right, cool, we're going to move this over to Game Pass, and it's exclusive. Because, they did some of that with Bethesda. I get that. But at the same time, it's not like Sony can't counter, because Spider-Man did numbers. Ghost of Tsushima did numbers. Fucking Destiny is still making money on all platforms across the board for them. Yeah. So I don't... it's not that I get their market thing, because at the same time, if you take away Call of Duty, that's like a big amount, that's a chunk, and then they also will have Overwatch, which that's also a chunk, and then they're talking about already, if they got Activision Blizzard, they are gonna put World of Warcraft on the Xbox, which we all saw that coming.
They just did a new expansion pack for I'm like,
the
wait, nigga, y'all still playing that game?
Still to this day.
Still playing that shit? I thought
they on Generation 3 right now.
I thought y'all had some hoes by now, nigga. Like, what you doing? You ain't even getting out the house having sex no more. But you have to look at it. You have to look at it like this, man. Like the purchase of Blizzard Activision is a big tilt of power, because
it is.
You have to look at it like this. Like Call of Duty, no matter how much people hate it, it is a no-brain purchase. That is a purchase that is guaranteed every year. Now, it might not do the same numbers as it used to do, but it do numbers.
It still do numbers, right?
So
like their failure is not my failure. Like, man, 500 million, that's a failure. And it's like, I wish I could sell 500 million.
And think about it like this. Think about the subscriber base going up on Game Pass once they have them, and they just like, we just going to drop the old Call of Duties on Game Pass. Their subscriber rate is going to go up so much, and then it's just like they can print money at that by doing that. Like Microsoft I've never been the type of person to say Microsoft is a terrible company. Sometimes they at one point in time, Microsoft used to be with one of those companies that have great ideas and never backed them, but now it feels like them niggas is like, we gonna kill y'all because we got more money. It's Drake. It is Drake, nigga. I got more money than you. I'm about to rent out the Dodger Stadium and take my girl out for a fucking dinner, and you can kiss my ass.
Just a flex on you.
Right. And then you got Sony just like, man, that
That's
nigga
fucked
breath
up.
stank.
and then the fucked up part about it, because I don't even like how Sony is doing this. Because the fucked up part about it is just like, hey, yeah, aren't they doing this? Yeah, because they even went and got Google, who Google was like, oh yeah, well that would fuck up our money because Call of Duty promised to take our servers, but we know since Microsoft get them,
it sucks.
Yo,
okay, it's shutting the fuck down for a reason. You guys said, hey, let's do a game. Like, we don't want to play that mess.
Cole Jackson, how is it that to this day people are still like, oh no, Stadia? I was surprised Stadia shut down. I'm like, how? I knew that within the 3 days of the game came out. I was like, this ain't gonna last. when they couldn't perform a simple like, oh, we're gonna stream this in 4K like they promised and maybe pay all that money, I was like, oh, it's done.
I still can't. Just like Netflix. I don't even know how to find y'all games. Netflix was like, the gaming stuff is up. Like, where is it? Because y'all keep going up on this price, but I don't see no games when I turn my Netflix on.
But you know what you about to see?
All I see is Jamie Foxx movies. I'm tired of it.
No, you about to see that? Hey, you about to see this price with the ads? Did you see that shit? I was just
they're doing $7. They're doing the $7 tier. Look, man. Let the gaming community do what the gaming community do. Y'all stay over here. Stay in y'all lane, man.
Stay in your lane.
Somebody buy Walmart or something. We ain't got time for that, bro. Like,
not Walmart.
Yeah, like purchase Google need to purchase Walmart or something. Like, do something, man. We got no time for that, bro.
Listen, okay. So here's another thing I wanted to ask you about too. We talked about a little bit a while ago, but Amazon buying EA. Now, how would you feel if that deal would actually went through, or because they gonna get them? Bezos gonna get it.
That's not gonna happen, bro. And this is just me now. Since I'm an executive now, I have to read these Enterprise magazine articles and stuff like. I didn't know that they had been trying to do this for a while. But then that fake story came. Well, the story came out. I was like, oh, they probably finally got him, and it was like, like, dang, you know what I'm saying?
No,
it's like me trying to date some of these women. It's like, nah, bro, like, you ain't got. The
what you say? You just whittle?
Like you just talking to me, but you ain't got the number. But if I'm being honest, why not? Let's just have one huge evil empire and let them niggas make the Death Star. Let them niggas make the Death Star, bro. Look,
Bezos already out here making penis rockets, man. I can't take the Death Star.
Nigga, that is making penis
rockets. Amazon did come into the theater near you. Like,
man, that would be the greatest marriage ever. That would be
so I have
that'd be like the 42 Doug ESTG album. This is fire.
So I have a theory, Cole Jackson, and I want you to just walk with me on this one.
Here you go.
I think it will happen, and I think Amazon is pursuing them simply because of one big franchise. And if you know this franchise, you'll be like, okay, I kind of see that. But Lord of the Rings, because Amazon has big plans for that show.
Okay, real quick, I've never watched any of those movies. No, I'm not trying to be funny. I've never seen any of that stuff, so I really don't understand how important that property is because I've just never took the time out to just say, I'll watch these 3-hour movies, and here's the show, and then here's the Hobbit stuff. Like that time period ain't for me.
I feel you.
The stuff they talking about don't make sense to me. So I've never watched any of that stuff. And I'm just, I think I'm just being ignorant. You know, because a lot of people are like, oh, you'll like it. I'm like,
yeah. Well, that's like people telling me I'd like Harry Potter. I'm like, I get it. It's never interested me.
Let me just be honest. I hear recently I had started watching Harry Potter because I didn't have anything better to do. And I was like, why not? Not bad.
Right.
Not bad. Like I know I'm late to the party, but I think I'm 3 movies in. I still have a few more to go. But I was like, okay, I kind of get the appeal.
No, and I do too. I just never got into it. Like I've watched a few movies, and I'm like, okay, but I just never got into it.
But Lord of the Rings, y'all kiss my ass on that, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting 3 hours to watch these people.
What movie? Walk.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
So
I don't care nothing about them hobbits. I don't care nothing about none of that stuff. I need action. Put me on. Like I like terrible Tubi movies. That's the type of dude I am. I like terrible Tubi movies. And when you
is that what you become? Is that like, your dating profile now?
When you put when you put great production movies like that on in my face, it just turns me off. It just turns me away. And I like low quality. I like movies like Plug Love and Three Strikes and shit like that.
It's funny.
Three Keys. I'm sorry. It's a movie called Three Keys on Tubi. It's hilarious.
And it's funny you mentioned that because the big thing about the whole series is that Amazon poured money into that. They had to buy the show at $1 billion just because they had to buy all the rights to Lord of the Rings. Basically, it's not special about Lord of the Rings aside from like it influenced so many people, like D&D, shit like that. But like it's so expensive because so many people love Tolkien and he's so revered that like they're so protective.
He ain't never been in my neighborhood. I ain't never seen him in the streets. I ain't never seen Tolkien in the streets.
And he's slightly he don't like us no way, because when the black folks in Lord of the Rings, but
he HP Lovecraft type nigga.
Yeah.
He one of them.
Nigga, never in my book, never.
What? Those monsters.
Shout out to Lovecraft Country. God, it's so good. The crazy thing about it is and I think that's why. So that's my theory is that I think they're trying to buy EA because, as you know, one of the best Lord of the Rings games ever came out by them, which I was kind of impressed by, which was Shadows of Mordor and its sequel, Shadows of War. And so I think they want those games to go with the series and possibly try to make series, movies, and games from it because that's the holy trinity right there. If you can get all three, you got millions to billions of dollars.
Well, here's the thing too, man, which a lot of people I think failed to kind of realize or know that this happened. Amazon bought MGM.
Yeah, I mean, just so
they
quick.
Own Bond. They own Bond now.
Nobody knew. Yeah,
they own James Bond now. So,
because the only way I knew, bro, is I was sitting there cold and I was watching something. I was like, all the Bond movies are on here, free to Amazon Prime. What the? And then I went looked and I was like, damn, they got them too. Cash money.
Yeah,
that's it. Here you go.
Yeah,
I was in space thinking, and I'm gonna buy MGM today.
Yeah. They bought that whole catalog. I thought that, but I think you have to look at it like this too. Like Amazon needs that because their shit sucks. Like, they're one of the worst streamers.
Well, now I'd say for a man like yourself with your taste in Tubi, they have a lot of great movies for you, sir. Like there's a whole movie where some dude was running shoes like drugs. And he was getting paid. I was like, "There's no way you get paid."
It's called You Got Served. Okay,
yes,
that's the name of the movie, which I love.
There's no, and then the dude from Martin's in there. Something Payne, is it Tommy Payne? I'm like, there's no fucking way, no way.
Right?
God, such a.
How about the LeBron James house party movie, huh?
You know what? I'm just gonna say this. And I know I'm gonna get hate for it. Stop fucking remaking everything from the 90s. I'm sorry. The 90s was a magical time. We can't go back. I love it. Trust me. I want my Jabot jeans and my baggy jeans back, but I can't do it, y'all. Just stop. Because I'm so tired of that, man. I'm like, okay.
I was like, does it have to be in his house? Do I have to see a LeBron James hologram?
Yep, every time.
What's wrong with y'all? I was in. Here's the thing. I was in on the remake until I seen the trailer, and I was just like, "Oh, is that LeBron James? This is LeBron James' house." I'm like,
he took a page from Tyler Perry, which I love that hit on Tyler Perry on Atlanta, by the way. But he took a page from Tyler Perry, and that's what he gonna do, baby. Look, he already got the shop. It started with the shop. Now he's gonna keep going. It's gonna be LeBron James movies. He already with the Lakers. Why do you think he went to the Lakers, bro? He tried that same deal Kobe got. And just like, I'm gonna get in with these movie guys.
Space Jam 2. All that shit. I ain't gonna hold you though. I watched it again. I was like, it's all right. I just hated like the names, like LG Rhythm. I'm like, all right, bro, you could have did better. You could have did better.
Look,
LG Rhythm.
I don't care what anybody says, man. I'll just say it. I'm gonna get some hate on this. Don Cheadle stole the movie. High key take. Because the only other person that stole it was Michael B. Jordan. And he was in there for like fucking 5 seconds. And that's really sad. I was like,
I was just like them damn Looney Tunes case. I was like, they got Michael Jordan, bitch. I said, I got the I was like, that was the biggest okie doke ever. Don't make Creed 3, man. I don't have time for this shit.
Everybody's like,
is Michael B. Jordan. No, you're Creed. You're Adonis Creed. And that's all you're gonna ever be.
well, unless the rumors are true that he's gonna be in, the Wakanda Forever, there might be 2 Black Panthers, y'all. So that's gonna be interesting right there.
They're gonna bring him back. Watch. It was like, save this movie, Michael B. Jordan. He gonna
look, the snap.
He was like,
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it for you guys.
This is for Chadwick.
One boy Chad.
Yeah, he was. Like, what you? You bastard!
And okay.
How could you?
Speaking of comics, while we're here too, got another question for you because a lot of things happen in the comic world. We saw Fall X is about to come out, which that's gonna be amazing. I gotta catch up on that. I gotta read through Krakoa right now. How do you feel? Because you're a DC man.
Why do y'all get this wrong? I'm not a DC
I'm so sorry.
guy.
I'm sorry.
I love Marvel. Okay. I just know about Batman because Batman is that dude.
He is. I'll give you that. It's probably the best thing they got right. Well, anyway, I got a question for you.
Okay.
How do you feel about Black Adam and The Rock being Black Adam in this new movie?
Who else could have been? Who you gonna get? Who? Michael B. Jordan?
No, you can't get him, sir. He's playing Black Superman.
Denzel Washington's son, you gonna get him?
Yeah.
There's nobody you can find.
John Washington?
Yeah, David Washington.
I don't care. I don't care what anybody says.
Y'all gonna get Jonathan. By the way, side note.
Okay, here we go.
Women are fucking. Y'all are as bad as you. Y'all are horny as fuck. If you've been on Twitter, these Jonathan Majors pictures came out, and all of these women were like, they were moist. It was just moist on the timeline when the pictures came out. And I just want to say, y'all need to stop coming down on that so much because y'all are just as horny. He would just. I would do so many things to him.
I mean, listen.
You're pathetic. Stop doing this.
You remember the Michael B. Jordan commercial for Amazon, right? And we were just like, oh, okay. So we do stuff like that. It's objectifying, but when he do it, or when y'all see him do it, it's okay. Oh, okay.
Well, you know how it goes. I was like, y'all are some really horny women. So.
Because it was all over the place. Yes, King. Like, yeah. Oh, look at Daddy.
That's like, why is he was carrying like a dog or a goat on one of the pictures. I was like, y'all don't see this animal cruelty behind me? This nigga is like taking a goat hostage. Y'all just like, he can carry my goat anytime.
You don't even have a goat.
What? Oh, you sassy woman. You're just so sassy.
I love it. I love it, man. But
who else is gonna play Black Adam, man? We ain't got nobody else.
I just
you see they can't even get Blade right. They just shut down production on the director for Blade that left. He just like, I ain't signed up for this.
That makes me so mad because I'm like, come on, man. We are this close, Cole Jackson. This close to get Midnight Suns. This close. And then
I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about Blade.
No.
Fuck Midnight Suns.
My man's out. Look, Marshall Ali said, hey, I want to be Blade. Come on, man. It's not every day a great black actor like himself. I'm excluding the movie Green Book because that was just, he did it for the money. Come on, man. Like, he was just like, yo, I want to be Blade. And, like, they were fucking this up by, like, because he was just like, I am just frustrated with this.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man.
They can't, so they're looking for a new director, and Mahershala Ali's kind of just like, I don't know, Marvel. Y'all kind of, and it's just like,
come on, because you know what's gonna happen. You know, if he leaves, all they're gonna do is go over and get Jamie Foxx, because that's what they always do. Jamie Foxx is always the backup black dude.
He can't even get in the Cardi B party, dog. What you talking about? You talking about some get Jamie? He can't even get in Cardi B birthday party.
Hey, he's Spawn though.
It's just too much. It's just too much. I love Jamie Foxx. Shout out to Jamie Foxx.
He's the greatest. I can't wait to see they clone Tyrell. That shit's gonna be hilarious. My boy John Boyega. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Here's my other question, because I told Rain Coleman that was gonna be my hill to down. John Boyega as a black Cyclops, right? And then Denzel Washington as the Black Magneto, and I get it, because I'm with you. We had that conversation before. I would prefer them not changing them around. But what if we had John Boyega, Denzel Washington, and then I can't say his name because I can never remember how to pronounce it, but the dude Gus from Breaking Bad.
Oh,
what if we had great actor, because he was also in School Days and he was phenomenal.
Hold on, because we have to.
We gotta
get this king's name right.
Man, that's a legend right there. A legend.
Let's see. I think I remember his. Yeah. Giancarlo Esposito. That's his name. I learned his name because we did a School Days episode podcast. We did a podcast about School Days.
Yes.
We watched this, but it's Giancarlo Esposito.
Listen.
Look, man.
That's the dream trifecta, man. The dream trifecta. Can you imagine?
Let me just be honest. Let me be
John Boyega. Can you imagine that?
No, man. Now I gotta get on my soapbox.
Get on it.
We have black comic book characters that need to be fulfilled. I'm really not with the whole switching things over. Right. To satisfy some kind of black need. I'm more about fulfilling the need of actually using those black characters that we have. I think that with the success of Black Panther, it can be people fuck with black superheroes. Right. I really don't want to make these superheroes black. I want to celebrate the ones that we have. Like, we don't do that. Like,
Storm movie.
I want to. If we can get Black Adam, how come we can't get Icon?
Rocket and Icon, yes.
Why haven't we got a Static Shock movie? Storm. You get what I'm saying? Like, we need those characters. The Milestone universe ain't even been fucked with for real. They have great characters that relate to me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of. God, people are gonna hate me for saying this. I'm tired of blackwashing some of these characters. Yep. Like, I'm tired of it. We have our own batch of characters that we most definitely celebrate and know about. So why don't we push them to the forefront for a little bit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really give a fuck about like making Cyclops black or making Professor Xavier black. Like we have our own characters, and
we've seen enough of them. Please, like
yeah, we don't even who we have. Storm. We ain't never got a. We never got. We didn't get Bishop for real.
No,
not for real. That nigga showed up in one movie.
Terrible. Yes, I don't even count that. Forge, yes.
Just it's a lot of black characters that we have that we just don't push to. We're gonna get Riri Williams in the new Black Panther movie and that kind of shit. But I'm tired of like we're very much past blackwashing characters, bro. And I know blackwashing probably sounds like a really horrible word, and the internet might be like, this guy cool. That's crazy. But we have a whole bunch of like black superheroes that we can most definitely put in these movies, use and do what we need to do. Brother Voodoo, all that stuff.
Marvel. Man. Blue Marvel. Remember when they had a whole team of majority black people on the Ultimates, and it was like Blue Marvel, the real Spectrum, it was Black Panther, War Machine, and Carol Danvers was on there, of course, and then a few other people. But it was like majority. That was one of the best. Because Blue Marvel is so fucking smart and they never use him. No.
Just bring these characters to the forefront instead of just blackwashing what we have. You know what I'm saying? Like I would much rather keep Magneto white if that means that we can get a Bishop in the Marvel MCU.
A good Bishop.
You get what I'm saying? Like a real Bishop.
Like Crazy Tom Bishop. No, give me like, all right, here's his real story. This was happening. This is why he saw this. This is where he is now. Give me that. Because I've noticed in the and it's crazy because of course they'll do it in the comics, but they do it in the movies. Because I don't know if you heard about Virgil getting his old like kind of Beyond Virgil, where him and the kid from Batman Beyond are hanging out, and they're like, he's teaching like Terry how to be a superhero. That new DC. I'm totally, me and Chris talked about it. I'm totally getting that day one. But I agree with you. Because I've said that before. Like I would love to see. Give me a Storm movie. It's Tom. She's like the first lady of comics. Like it's Tom, man. It's really Tom. Spectrum even they put Spectrum out there, but it's like, okay, give me a Spectrum movie or at least a series. Give her that. You know what I'm saying? Because she was the first leader of the AKA Avengers. Like a lot of people don't know that. Right. So
I just feel like, man, we're just way past the time of making specific comic book characters black. We need to push forward the characters that are actually black in these universes and actually kind of work them in. You know what I'm saying? I think that the problem with Marvel right now is it's just like, we know black sells, so we just gonna make sure we put up
diversity for hire. Yeah,
just dig up. I said you own the comic book catalog, bro. Look into some of this history that y'all have and put some of these black characters to the forefront like y'all did Black Panther. Because a lot of people's just like, Black Panther, like, who is that? Oh, y'all doing a civil rights movie. No, bro, like, stop.
So many people.
You know what I'm saying? Just move forward what we already have and stop black. I don't want a black Professor X. Want to know why? Because we have other characters in the Marvel universe that are actually black.
Yes.
What a fucking concept.
So many of them.
My mind is blown.
You know what? I want a whole movie where it's just like black first. Just give me all your
here's an idea. Jonathan Majors as Bishop. Hot damn. Look at that. I just can't
no, Marvel. Sir. He's Kang, okay? Only a few people can play two different heroes, all right? That's like we see Chris Evans again as a Human Torch, but he was like, Captain America. Because he said he'd come back and play Human Torch. And I'm like, all right, whatever. That's cool. I agree. Because I would love to see the day where it's like Blue Marvel, Spectrum, and all of them just like chilling out, like, hey, let's do this, let's do that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man. Let's stop blackwashing people and let's just start moving our characters. Let's start moving the characters. Just let's celebrate them.
Let's do it. Okay, and then like two more questions, and now
we got a black Captain America though.
Of course we do. They can't fight.
He do get his ass whooped though.
I'm like, if you don't stop doing these Power Ranger flips and do something.
He do get his ass whooped. Like he need that super serum real bad.
Oh my, thank you. But you know what though? I would say this.
Like, man, if y'all don't get Anthony Mackie some
training,
some super serum,
give him a stunt double, some of this bitch. Like,
man, this is not no. Get out of here.
I will say this is
not the Olympics.
I will say you're right. I will say this though. At least he didn't get his ass whooped quite as hard as good old U.S. agent when he went up against the Dora Milaje.
Yeah,
and they just embarrassed my man. He was like, I'm supposed to be Captain America. I was like, did you just see you get your ass whooped?
Yeah, they whooped your ass, brother. I'm a U.S. agent.
They made real horses out of you. Are you kidding me right now?
Right. Get out of here. Your Dollar General brand Captain America.
I mean, even Anthony Mackie, when he was flipping the plot around, he's like, oh, the Dora Milaje. Oh, no. Y'all go ahead. he left that to his boy, Winter Soldier, who was trying to reason with him. He's like, oh, no, that's Dora Milaje.
You know, before you get to the next question, let me just say this. I wonder how many times Sam Wilson gonna get his ass whooped in his own movie. Because they're gonna whoop his ass a couple times.
Like,
man, This shit is hard. Like the wings heavy now, ain't they?
Even when he got the shield, I was like, so nothing. You still just get your ass with that. He throwing the shield. Oh, I'm like, the fuck?
They was beating his ass.
Oh man, it's out there.
And I like Falcon, man. Falcon's like he's a very cool like Marvel character in the comic books, but like it's just like, man, in the show it's like, we can't let y'all shine Chris Evans, buddy. Sebastian Shaw or whatever. Yeah, Sebastian, we can't outshine him.
Like, oh, this is totally the Falcon that got punked out by Luke Cage that one time where they did that Marvel special, and Luke Cage just like, oh, you one of them. They like you. Fuck you. Yeah. Get out of here. Yeah. And he just flew away. I was like, yeah, no. After seeing the movies and the show, I get it. Luke Cage would just dunk this dude and be like, all right, that's it.
You know what's fun? Like, this is how my mind works. I'm sorry that I sound like this, and I'm sorry if this is really niggerish, but I was like, man, why did Luke Cage come across Ghost? I wanted Luke Cage to be in power so bad. I was like, damn, I just wanted him to meet.
Listen, Luke Cage could have been Ghost's power bodyguard, and Ghost could have been the new drug lord. And he was like, nah, man, we need him. We need him in the city. Right.
I just want that crossover to happen. 50 make it happen. Where's 50? 50 make it happen.
You imagine Luke Cage and fucking Tommy running around here killing niggas? That'd be terrible.
I just want it to happen really bad.
It's the crossover we need. It's the crossover.
That's the best. That'd probably be the greatest crossover ever.
Bruh. Marvel should do Marvel. If you're watching this, thank you. First off, second off, get with 50 Cent and make the crossover. Ghost in Hell's Kitchen. What if Ghost was in Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah, he just got lost one day. He was doing a really, really crazy drug deal, and he was like, oh, I gotta stop you. It's like, we can work together. He's like, oh, you know what, we could. I got the script. I got the script.
Netflix, here we come. No. I'm sorry. Disney Plus now. Disney Plus.
Y'all really don't want me to get money, dog. Because if I had money, I would try to buy the rights to make that happen. Just for like two, it would be a 2-episode crossover show.
Look, they just see you in the article when you walking out of a room with Kevin Feige and 50 Cent. Like, I think we got a hit, guys.
I think we got a
hit. I think we got him.
Yeah. Only me would want that shit, though.
No, I would love that. Because that's just like, yo, what if we have a cross of The Wire and The Runaways? That should be amazing, dude. Man, just tight. Imagine dinosaur dude selling drugs on the corner. He's just like, yo, Raptor, you out here? Do what I gotta do, son.
He talking to Bodie.
He talking to Bodie? Ain't nobody gonna run me off my block, cuz.
Yeah. Oh, that nigga a dinosaur. Wait.
He cool people, though. He cool people.
Yeah, I really don't need money. Because the things I would create.
Spider-Man's trying to get
the movies I would create would be terrible.
Weebay, you don't have to do this, man. No, I did all the murders. No, Weebay, Misty Knight talking.
Yeah.
No, I did all the murders. You ain't got to do this. Don't make me bring Iron Fist out here.
Right. Right.
Yo, that would be hilarious. All right, so I forgot to ask. That was another question I was supposed to ask you. Was what? So 2 things. This is a 2-part question.
Okay.
What song made you kind of fall in love with music and become a music nerd? And I know that's one of my loaded questions, babe. And the other one is, because I asked everyone this, when did you kind of fall in love with video games or like the nerdum around kind of like the video game comic culture and anime? You know what I'm saying? Because we just, you know what? And I want to say this too. As a black nerd that was a nerd when no one else was, when it was a time where it wasn't popular, I love seeing the progression because, like, we're really in the age where Kid Cudi just made an anime about a slice of life black man. And I mean, I think it's the greatest shit ever.
Yeah. Yeah, we are lucky to be able to see that kind of stuff.
Right?
I ain't gonna lie.
Right?
We're really lucky to see that kind of stuff, man.
Crazy,
I'm for real.
Man.
It's just that's amazing.
It's amazing.
Which question do I answer first?
Give Give me the music one first, because I'm interested to see if it's a Master P joint or if it's more of a West Coast artist joint. Because I know you mentioned a lot of West Coast artists that you used to listen to back in the day.
So, and you're saying what made me a music nerd?
Yeah, like what made you that music head where you just like, yo, this is it. I'm gonna listen to the, because you know what? There's a lot of people that listen to music don't listen to lyrics. Because like me, you, and a lot of like our friends, we listen to everything: the beat, the lyrics, what they're saying, how they're saying it.
Shit, that's a good question. I would have to go back to like hearing. So I listen to a lot of Ice Cube. Matter of fact, I was listening to a lot of Ice Cube at one point in time. Of course, The Chronic, stuff like that. And I most definitely got to a point to where like I had a really dope ass aunt who I lived with that had the greatest album collection. I had two aunts that had really great album collections. My aunt in California, she had a really great album collection. And I just remember hearing some Dre stuff and hearing some Cube stuff. And I was one of those people who would get the CDs and I'm a credit reading ass dude. Like I love reading the credits. And I used to read the credits and find to see if they had the albums. And I used to go back and just kind of like listen to the actual samples. And used to hear the samples. So it would have to be, you know what I'm saying, some Ice Cube stuff, some Dre stuff. There's an artist called the DOC who had a fire ass album called The Formula. And it was just those artists. The production was so sample heavy at that point in time. You feel me? So I used to hear those songs, and then I remember my aunt just playing music on Saturdays, cleaning up, and the shit just registered with me. You get what I'm saying? She would clean up, and I would hear certain songs, and I'd be like, "Oh, nigga, that's Ice Cube," you know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's just being able to hear certain songs and actually understand what the sound. I do that to this day.
Well, dude, honestly, if a lot of people don't know, like I think one of the best parts in the NWA Compton movie is Dr. Dre when he's laying there with all those albums. Because that really is Dr. Dre. Like, I mean, the movies are exaggerated, of course, but it's crazy because if you listen to a lot of Dr. Dre's music, he knew his music. I mean, he had so much of the old 70s soul and 80s soul music. So, like, I get it because
a lot of the old funk. I did that with so every Thursday. So I'm gonna plug some of my shit. Every Thursday I do a show called Thursday Night Lights. And I always the beginning of every show I celebrate hip hop with some old school music. I play 2 old school songs just to kind of respect the game, and it's just me respecting the game.
Right.
And that's what made me. I hear recent it's crazy. This is so crazy because I don't know, a lot of people Jimmy Cooks, the Drake song Jimmy Cooks. So I heard that song and I instantly was like, I know where the fuck that came from. He took that song, he sampled 2 songs. He sampled Play or Fly from out of Memphis. Drake samples a lot of Memphis artists. He
a lot.
I ain't gonna say take, but he samples a lot of Memphis artists. So he and I'm trying to make sure I got the other song. But he sampled Play or Fly, Just Awake and Shaking, and he sampled, I think it's is it Gangsta Black? Let's see, hold on. I'm looking up the song now because I just got finished listening to it. Hold on. I'm trying to, because I know how it is when you gotta edit.
It's all good. Yeah,
he sampled Gangsta Black, who was out of Memphis, and he sampled Play or Fly. Both of them are he sampled Life's a Bitch from Gangsta Black, and he sampled Just Awake and Shaking from Play or Fly. And I was like, I opened I opened my Thursday Night Lights with those 2 songs just because I was just like, this is so dope that people don't know the Memphis sound has been 2 places that niggas steal from that people don't really give props to. Now I'm getting into my music bag. The Bay Area, y'all niggas steal everything from the Bay, and Memphis. Y'all owe DJ like DJ Paul and Juicy J, y'all niggas owe a lot to them niggas because a lot of these artists be taken from them. Hell, the new Freddie Gibbs song, the new Freddie Gibbs album, he got a song with DJ Paul, which DJ Paul sampled a song from this Memphis artist called Kingpin Skinny Pimp. And I'm like, I'm one of the few niggas that know that shit. It feels good for me to be able to, and that's one thing that helps me with my interviews. Being very aware and understanding about music and sampling, and I can't rap, I can't make beats, I can't do a lot of this shit that a lot of artists that I interview can do, but I can research, and I am a fan of. I'm a student of the game, my nigga.
You can DJ your ass off. You just
I wish I want to do that again.
I miss the sets, man. I miss them.
Y'all, you and some other people said the same shit, and I was like, yeah, I was decent. I went.
Come on back, baby. Come on back, man. I got the James aura behind me. Come on back, Cole. Come on back.
But I respect the game, bro. Like. My uncle used to tell me all the time, man, and he was just like, he said with anything, if you respect the game will respect you.
Facts.
And I was like, man, like,
it's true.
So it's just like, I'm still that same kid that when I hear a sample or I hear a song, the first thing I go to is my computer, or I go and listen to whatever's in my collection or whatever the case may be, just to see where they got that sample from. I'm just that nerdy when it comes to music. I just love music that much, man. And I was just like, I never understood, I never really understood passion and purpose until these past 2 years, these 2 years that's just passed. And I'm super passionate about like artists being able to get their money and getting their just due and their respect. Absolutely. On top of, you know what I'm saying, my purpose being able to uplift a lot of these artists and uplift a lot of things that's happening in the music community, especially in the Birmingham area, but also independent artists outside of here. And I feel like, you know, man, if I just stay on top of my game, bro, you know what I'm saying? But all it really took was just me hearing, just being around. I've been around music all my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Not really realizing, like, my granny, my mom's mom had a piano that she used to play and teach people piano lessons. I here recently found out that my mom tried to be in a singing group. Never knew that shit before in my life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's just like music has just been a part of my life for so long, and I just don't know. I don't know what I would do without it, or I don't know how to maintain without music. And my taste varies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to so many different things, and thank God for Sid Davis, because if it wasn't for Sid Davis, who has a podcast called The Social Introvert on BYNK Podcast Network, we exchange music, takes. He keeps me in the game with a lot of stuff, and I keep him in the game. We just keep each other connected, bro. And it's I never, this is my first interview. I never realized this until I just talked about it. I was like, I don't know what I would do without music, or just being that super nerd when it comes to music, and just still being able to enjoy everything. I love it all.
It's important, man. It's music is so quintessential to the lives we live. You know what I'm saying? Like, from being the soundtrack, the background noise to our everyday lives, to just being the very fabric sometimes that just holds you in reality and holds you in certain moments and holds you in certain time. Not a lot of arts can do that, but music is one of the very few that's just like, yo, when you hear a song, you're instantly transported back to a certain time. You're instantly transported back to those Saturday mornings of cleaning. You're instantly transported back to that one great family barbecue. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's beautiful, because I mean, I would say for mine, like, because I think my biggest bring into like hip hop was like Common and the Roots, and like
Yeah.
Common was crazy because I remember his album One Day It All Makes Sense. I used to like listen to it as a kid, and I just knew I was like, yo, this is it, conscious hip hop. That's what I want. And
Yeah.
just reading, his stuff to see No ID as his producer, Jay Dilla, all the people he worked with, to like Kanye when Kanye wasn't crazy, and like all these other people out there.
Yeah.
It's just a dope feeling, man. So I agree with you.
Yeah. I can't remember your other question.
My other question was, what video game, or like, I guess in the nerd culture, video game, comic, or anime that just kind of like brought you into like, yo, like, yeah, I'm a nerd. Like, this is it. I fucks with this heavy. It can be any of those it can be any format really, that just like, you know what, this is it. This is what brought me into my nerdom. Like, this is kind of my your chaining day, as J. Cole would say.
Probably. I'm trying to think. That's a good one.
That's all I ask in my interviews, baby. Good questions.
What was it? Because I was so busy getting into, I was getting into so much shit sometimes, and then I had to sit back and kind of like, I guess, get into some video games. I honestly, would it be comic books? Let me just say this. I'll put it to you like this. I think once I got into when I got to a point where I had to start going to the Boys and Girls Club to like do different shit, to just kind of like stay out of trouble. And I picked up, I remember reading the Icon comic when I was there.
Wow.
And I remember that. And then I remember I remember reading a Batman comic book and being like, that's dope as fuck, because this nigga rich and I'm broke as fuck. But this nigga rich as hell, and he's like, I'm gonna go out and just whoop niggas ass. You know what? I would have to say Nightfall.
Nightfall.
John Paul, when that was like really like the first Batman comic book I had ever like read.
Nightfall,
because
series.
He went when Bane broke his back. Bane was like, "Hey, nigga, you ain't finna." He broke his back, and Bane broke his back. This how I knew Batman was the shit. In Nightfall, a lot of people don't know this. He had a black girlfriend in there. She was a nurse, and she was black. Yes. He had a black girlfriend. She was like, "Oh, Bruce." He had a little afro and everything.
Yeah,
like,
she was okay, baby. She was keeping him calm.
Like, I just need some of that black chocolate. I need some of that chocolate, baby.
Yo, and he was going through with Azrael, because Azrael was just out here. He's like,
and then John Paul Valley ends up being like Batman, taking on the mantle and stuff like that. And this nigga's like, I think I need to just start killing people. Yeah, it was a cool ass story, because I got to see Batman get his ass whooped, and then he was just like, he had to work his way back to like take back the mantle and just stop John Paul Valley and had to stop Bane. And that was a very interesting story. So I'm picking that up and reading those, and that was dope as hell. And I would have to probably say, if I'm gonna be honest, can't believe I'm saying this. Probably Super Mario 64.
Wow.
When I was just like, I said, this shit is fire.
Wow. Wow. Y'all different out here now. See, y'all kids, oh man, Super Mario's shit. Man, Nintendo soft, nigga. Fuck Nintendo.
They is soft, yeah. But I had never really
still
seen.
Been playing it on the slide. I know you're going to get your Switch and be playing.
I never really seen. I think Super Mario 64 was like some shit that I had just never. I was like, this is fucking amazing. What the fuck going on with this shit?
Blew our mind.
Super Mario 64.
Okay.
I was like, that was the holy grail at one point in time. Of like, I was like, okay, we here now, because I was like, I got to play this shit. So,
man, I mean, the only other thing that blew our minds harder, I would say either harder or about the same level, was like when Legend of Zelda went 3D. Well,
I hate Zelda games.
You hate it, but you know,
none of that shit.
But for us, man, we were just like, this is it. This is it, player. We are never gonna get anything else. But no, Mario 64 that was probably a lot of people don't give that game enough credit because that just when Mario 64 dropped, 3D platformer just blew up. It was like, yo, here
that
you
was
go.
just some
Okay,
different.
that's what y'all want. Okay, you know,
That was just some different type. That and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that was another one.
Those two games. Because Mortal Kombat was on some like you had to sneak like you couldn't play that game. Like you had to figure out how to like you had to sneak to play that because it was killing it.
Oh, remember that game was so bad they were thinking about making you carry ID to play it in the arcades, and it took an act of Congress for them to decide whether they're gonna do it or not. Yo, y'all went outside. That was, man, you were so cool. You got a chance to go play Mortal Kombat. Oh my god.
I had a cousin who had it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I went over to his house. And I was like, what? I said, oh shit. I said, oh shit, that nigga hand came.
Man, and we played that for hours on it. That Street Fighter, it was just both of those just like they were the kings of fighting.
It's funny too because I'm really horrible at Mortal Kombat, but I love Street Fighter.
Yes.
But I got exposed to Mortal Kombat first before Street Fighter. I used to get my ass handed to me in Mortal Kombat, but Street Fighter, I was like, when I start learning the moves just made more sense to me than like Mortal Kombat moves.
It was more balanced. Mortal Kombat was like you had to learn, especially when they introduced that run button. You had to learn to get the moves off, get them fast, and you had to keep your person nailed to the wall. Otherwise, you're not gonna win. But with Street Fighter, it was a game of rock paper scissors. A very like sophisticated game of that. You know.
Yeah. Shout out to Street Fighter though. Street Fighter is good, but I got exposed to Mortal Kombat because they was chopping niggas' heads off and taking niggas' hearts out. So.
And then like we started doing the stage like fatalities. Like I'm gonna throw you off the stage. God, like shit, dude.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Wow. Okay. All right, man. I'm proud of you. Look at growth.
No, bro.
Look at that.
You couldn't pay me to play nothing Nintendo today.
You could. I really could.
You can't pay me to get no Switch.
Remember that one time when you got the mini Super Nintendo? I was just like, you're getting that? And you're like,
I was like, yeah, because that's worth it.
I was like, I have all those games, but okay. You know,
but me getting a fucking Switch, get the fuck out of it. You can have that. Those Switches for chumps. Oh.
Let me tell you something, sir. I love my baby. To the day I die. Nintendo forever, baby. Forever.
You just another fool. you just a damn fool.
Look. I'm with you when you're right. Because you know as soon as that new Mario come out, baby.
You just a damn fool.
Because you remember when I bought the Wii U and y'all were getting over, y'all were like, come on, bro. Why? Why you get the Wii U, man? Hey, it's Nintendo. Don't ask questions. You already know.
You just a damn fool. They keep getting you though. They keep getting you. They just like, man.
Oh, we got him.
They was like,
got him.
All right, we got him. Yeah. He's here.
Like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna get this. We dropped the new Mario. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. It's going.
Yeah.
You know, you already know. Oh,
terrible.
Cole Jackson.
You should do better with life.
No, man. Nah. Nintendo forever. Look at this original player right here.
No, that's and you got a Zelda shirt on, man.
All day, baby. All day.
That is horrible.
Cole Jackson, before we go, is there anything you'd like to ask the Nerd Plate while you're here on the show?
Yes. Why don't y'all stop talking about music on this fucking show? Because it angers me every time y'all have these music conversations on this. I know y'all be like, yo, this is my show. I can't do. I know. I'm just a peon that listens to the podcast. But I'm just like, some of y'all music takes, man.
Please,
I'm like, you guys are. Please, you're fucking nuts.
Please send us more emails because them shits be hilarious.
They be like, man, fuck that nigga. He trying to tell us how to run our show. I'm like, I'm not telling y'all how to run y'all show. I'm just asking y'all to just like chill turn the music takes down to 5, please. Because
like every time we say music take down, I feel like a Family Guy Flash thing just goes to you. You just
it'd be a chill up my spine when y'all do it. That's how I know y'all doing it. I was like, let me tune in to this episode. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? No, on some real shit. Let me just ask you. I'm gonna ask you a real question.
Okay.
What do you think? I haven't watched it yet, and I don't know if you have or not. What do you think about the Chainsaw Man anime? That I think it's dropped already.
Yeah, it has. I have not got a chance to watch it yet because
so they've been hyping this.
Mm-hmm.
Are you falling into the hype? Like, because I think I want to watch it.
So here's one thing. I never fall into the hype of new anime because you never know if you're gonna like it until you actually watch it. Because Ranking of Kings, phenomenal anime. I never thought I'd get into it just from like how it looks on the outside, but when I watched it, I was like, oh my god, it's so good. But no, I do want to see Chainsaw Man, and I was going to watch it, but the night I was going to watch it because I got so much shit that I had to do. I was like, all right, I can only watch that or the Bleach 1,000-Year War, and I was like, I gotta watch Bleach because I know people are gonna be talking about that, and I didn't want anything spoiled for me, so I watched that instead, which that was good. But no, I am dying to watch Chainsaw Man, not because of the hype, but just I heard the synopsis for it, and I'm just like, I have to see this because this is the weirdest shit ever. So it'll be nice to see, because that's the cool thing to me. It's because again, going back to Ranking of Kings, going back to Odd Taxi, because I follow or I watch a guy called Gaiguk who he does a pretty good job of talking about anime. But he talked about Odd Taxi one time. I was like, okay, cool. And I went and watched it, and he was right. It's one of the most phenomenal anime of all time. So I won't ruin it by telling you what it is, because that's the whole point of it. But I do definitely want to see it. That is definitely something I want to see. Because I've heard all kinds of hype over Chainsaw Man. But yeah, no, I am totally excited, man, to watch Chainsaw Man. I just because the premise looks crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because it that's what I love about new anime is that when the premise is so bizarre that it doesn't look like it's going to work. That's usually when it's just like, great. Because I mean, it's like watching Berserk for the first time. Man, that's crazy. Or like Ninja Scroll or Wicked City. So, which I'm showing my age on those. So yeah, I definitely need to watch it. But I try to absolve myself from the hype of anime because so many people overhype some anime, and then you watch it, you're just like, okay, this isn't as good as I thought it would be. Yeah. But with Chainsaw Man, I'm very interested because a lot of the manga readers are like, yo, that's gonna be crazy. We don't see how they're gonna do it. Because that's kind of what everybody said about Attack on Titan as well. When that was big, everybody was like, I don't see how they're gonna do it because of how it ends, and they killed it. So yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take a chance on it too. I don't watch a lot. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of stuff because I'm busy. But I've already kind of put that to the side. I'm like, that looks interesting. Kind of like One Punch Man when I took a chance on that, and it was like a great experience. So hilarious. I was like, just change. I like those types of animes. You know what I'm saying? Like One Punch Man and stuff like that. Like I'm like,
box, man. Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. Well, Mr. Cole Jackson, I know you're a busy man, so I'm going to let you get out of here. But before you go, please tell the people where they can find you, see all your works, sir. Go down the list, baby. Go down the list.
Wow. This is always the hardest part because it's so much. So if you guys want to catch me on social media, I'm on social media. First of all, I'm on Instagram at ColeJackson_BYNK. And if you want to catch me on Twitter, where I let my tweets off a lot, you can catch me on Twitter at ColeJackson12. You can actually catch me, or you can follow the website's Instagram or Twitter. That's at BYNK Radio. If you want to hear me, I do a live radio show every Thursday. It's called Thursday Night Lights. It is phenomenal. I love doing this. It is a show about music news, new releases, and just music. I play music all night. I talk about some music stories. I tell you guys what's dropping at midnight, all of those things. So if you want a nice little experience and you want to hear somebody talk shit about what's going on in music news, Thursday Night Lights is every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central. I give you a 2-hour block of a lot of stuff. So it's that. Follow the website bynkradio.net. Just check out interviews, podcasts, blogs. We have a lot of different offerings. So find something. I tell people every time, we don't ask you for money, we ask you for time. That's all we need. We just want to grow our base so we can finally quit our jobs and actually do this professionally. So anytime you want to hear some music, we have a radio station that plays all the time, independent and mainstream music, R&B and hip hop. And we just started our newest show, Late Night Rain, where it's Rain Coleman doing he's talking about relationships and he's putting a 90s soundtrack behind it. I think it's amazing. He just did his first show.
That's dope.
He did his first live show on this past Tuesday. So please support that, man, because Rain stepped out on faith. He had an idea, he wanted to do it. We talked about it, we figured it out, and now he has a radio show which is limited right now for October, but we're planning to expand that for later on past that. But the concept is dope. He's basically like, I want to do a 90s vibe type of radio show, take it back to the old school midnight love stuff, and I want to talk about some different relationship situations. I said, it sounds good. If you can get the music, let's go for it. And so right now we have Late Night Rain, which is on Tuesday, and we have Thursday Night Lights, which is on Thursday. And we have another show coming. I can't really talk about it yet, but we have another live radio show happening pretty soon. So
I just want to interrupt real quick. I can totally see Rain as a 90s DJ in a movie talking about relationship stuff and taking live calls. Yo, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, we're trying to work out the kinks so we can actually get some live on air stuff. If we can get some people to call in. We're working on those things right now because I want to implement that in like right now. The only way to talk to me on Thursday Night Lights is via Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
I ask everyone to hit me up on Twitter, and I have a question of the night every week. So it's a very interactive show. If I can actually work out the kinks for calling in, we have a number. Maybe we can get some call-ins and stuff like that. So I'm working those kinks out currently. But right now, Rain Coleman is just getting some confessions from people, and he's reading them live anonymously, of course.
Cool.
And he's putting everything with a 90s vibe. I mean, he plays a lot of 90s and early 2000s, early 2000s R&B. And that's the soundtrack behind a lot of these different little relationship situations. I think is dope. And I'm super proud of him because Rain is one of those people who have great ideas. And I think sometimes when you're the hardest thing for a content creator is support and someone who believes in you, mm-hmm. and someone who's willing to take your idea and kind of move it forward. I think that's what I'm here for, man. I feel like all of our content creators on the website just need a little bit of backing, a little bit of coaching, and a whole lot of support. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like we ironed out that show. I know I'm taking a lot of your time. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. Please. Talk, Kane.
No, man. We worked on. He had that idea, and we sat down and we ironed out the kinks as much as we possibly could, and we figured out how we can make that show work. And God, man, it's so wonderful to be able to sit with people and actually create and make this thing happen and bring it to fruition. And I was so proud of him when he actually went through, because we did test runs, we figured out everything. I'm pulling the curtain pulling the curtain back, but we figured everything out, and I feel like he did a phenomenal job for his first time actually hosting something live and actually being able to play music between it. And I'm super proud of like him. I'm super proud of Sid. It's just, I want to be able to be a home where I can bring content creators in and actually help bring their ideas to life and bring what you want to do to life, man. I think, here we go. I think a lot of these people,
let them know, King. Come on, let them know, King.
I think we have a lot of these people who claim that they really care about like content creators and thinking that they're putting us first are full of shit, because we don't get, unless we've been in, or we was a former rapper, or we was on a reality show, or we used to do something famous, we don't get a lot of opportunities as content creators, as independent content creators. And a lot of these people that I won't name that are famous claim that they're for us, but they don't do anything to help us or pull us out. There's only one story that I know of that is legitimate and that actually happened, and that's Poor Minds, which I have been listening to Poor Minds since they were in a fucking apartment doing shit off of one mic, and they got their big break because 85 South seen something in them, and they ended up managing them, and now they're one of the biggest podcasts out there. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting what they deserve. And I just want to be one of those people who can help content creators make their dreams happen, on top of me creating my own content. I know how I feel sometimes when I listen to certain podcasts of people who are super famous and they never had to get shit out of the mud. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like there are, and I'm not saying that's with every podcast, but what I'm saying is it's like some of these motherfuckers some of these people have already had their fucking time to like shine in their 15 minutes, and they've had it, and they still be taking other people's moments as well. And I'm like, I want it to be a situation to where like I want to eat just like they you had your nigga, you was a rapper, you was a fucking you were on a reality show, or you were doing all these other things. Like you had your chance, bro. Like you've done what you needed to do. You made your money. You did whatever it was that you needed to do. And it's like, for us who are independent content creators, and there's a ton of content creators that I know that deserve a shot, and we don't get that because we're not famous, or we're not connected to the right people, or somebody just ain't sucking somebody's dick. You get what I'm saying? So it just pisses me off that like that some of these big time content creators who have podcast networks are just like, well, we're for the independent content, we're for you guys and all that. No, you're not.
They're not.
You're not. Because if it was true, you would actually kind of dig and get your fucking hands dirty and dig in and cultivate some new shit other than some motherfuckers who were comedians or fucking rappers or fucking reality stars
who don't
or
do
fucking Instagram high famous ass motherfuckers. And I'm not trying to belittle those people, but what I'm saying is they don't understand the grind and the hustle that motherfuckers who are independent had to go through and do. I feel like this really fucked up.
Bro, we come from that independent circuit to where, like, I mean, we did everything. We're doing the editing. We're doing the cover art. Like, you know,
I'm still in here editing and shit.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I literally have learned, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for a ton of people who were in my life to show me how to do shit, I'm still learning. I don't have a team. I mean, no, I'm not going to say that. I have a team, but I do a lot of I get my hands dirty every day, as much as I possibly can, and I do everything. I've always been the type of leader to say, if I can't do it with you, I'm not gonna ask you to do it.
Exactly. Same here. Exactly.
So I just wanted to be. I want my website to be something that's gonna cultivate independent culture, and we can actually build a fucking infrastructure for people who just want to be able to create and have backing and support and success. Every person that's on this, well, not every person, but the majority of people who work on the website, who work with the podcast network, has been doing this for a long time, and they got it out the mud just like I did, and they started out with humble beginnings just like I did. And I feel like we are able to bring in people to this website and to our podcast, to whatever they want to do, and actually, we have so many people who are good at so many different things. I feel like we can help mold people and give them their opportunity and their chance. So when it comes time for them to shine, they'll be ready, and we can pass the game on, and we can do other things, and we can be huge. You know what I'm saying? I just get tired of sitting up here listening to people with podcast networks and they're talking about I'm for the creators. No, you're not.
And you see them working the same little circuit because we didn't see
Right.
Joe Budden's ass work the same little circuit over and over again.
It's not just him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's plenty of others,
I just don't want to put these famous people name out because they already are famous. But you know who got the podcast networks. You know the people who talk about they're for the creators and the creatives and all this other shit. And I don't see none of these people bring fucking people out of the fucking mud and actually build something with them to make them successful. I see a lot of people hanging on to already successful podcasts and already successful ideas that's happened, and then hooking their wagon to that and actually making money when I'm a nigga sitting up here trying to fucking create something and make something build, and I can't even get seed money like I want to. You get what I'm saying? So it's just one of them things, man. It pisses me off that I have to sit up here and bust my ass every day, and then I see motherfuckers like Jess Hilarious get a fucking podcast on a podcast
for no reason. For no reason.
Motherfuckers, and I'm not trying to come down on her because I can't be mad because she has connections, but I can't be upset because that opportunity could have went to somebody else who actually is just as funny. She was on a fucking TV show, for crying out loud. She done made money. She's still making money by. She don't even do a podcast on a regular basis. She does it in seasons. She tours and does her fucking. I mean, I'm just saying, man, there are people who are really true to this craft that is podcasting, who really have great ideas that can actually write and put together shows and do these types of things and earn and should have opportunities. That's all I'm saying. But when you sit up there and give somebody who's been on TV, who's done TV shows, who have stand-up, and it's just like, well, here's a little podcast to just kind of bring in some more listeners. That's bullshit to me.
Facts.
There are so many people who need opportunities in this space that actually can do a better job and actually would probably sit down and do their job longer than what it boggles my mind. So I don't want to be those other people who have podcast networks who are not trying to bring other people up, and I'm trying to grow something and make it work. And I'm trying to get everybody that I have on this team where they need to be at, so we can actually pass some game down and cultivate and grow some shit.
Facts.
That's all I'm trying to do. I got pissed because it hurts my feelings because it just, like I said, now I'm coming full circle. Like I said in the very beginning of this interview, humble beginnings, bruh. Humble fucking beginnings on a lot of shit. Like the equipment and the things that I'm able to do now is I'm very blessed, and I can't wait to expand and grow more and do more. But it's just like, man, like I just see a lot of people getting opportunities that's already had opportunities with other situations. And it's people who do podcasts who just hate it, but it's a check. Nigga, that money could. Do you know how much some of these podcasts make? That shit could fund my business and help me grow my business more.
10 times over. Yep.
I can't partner with anybody, or I can't. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know. I'm sorry.
No. Talk your talk, King. That's why
I just feel like, man. I just feel like a lot of these people.
It's just going through the motions.
I know networking has a lot to do with it, and I know it's who you know, but bruh, come on, man. Let's be honest here. Some of these people have podcasts because it's just a cool thing that they want to get a check off of on top of other checks. When some of these checks could actually fund some businesses that we own and we do, and we actually do this.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying. So I get a little emotional sometimes when it comes to people who say they're for the creators when they're not for the creators. You're fucking lying, first of all, and you're full of shit. And it pisses me off.
Absolutely. Let them know. No. That's what we need is passion and innovation out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel you because that's how passionate I am about everything I do. So I totally understand you that. Because, yeah, it's been plenty nice where I'm up, you know what I'm saying, doing the cover art for the Nerd Plate or up doing editing. And I'm like, I love this. But it makes me mad that, like, you know, there's somebody right now that's just like, get off this plane, do this podcast real quick, drink some. All right, I'll see y'all later. You know what I'm saying? And they're not putting in like this is like our passion, our job. Like anything, and I know you feel like that. Anything you put your name on, you can go 110% on. You know what I'm saying?
I try hard.
And I mean, I'm the same way, and it boggles my mind that a lot of these corporations just keep circling around the same peeps, or just like, all right, cool, and I get it, it's a numbers game for them, it's money, but at the same time, like you said, like, stop saying you for the whole podcast culture, but you're not doing anything to help these people.
I just want a lot of these people who have these networks and that do production on a lot of these podcasts. And I'm not saying it's all of them, because there are some podcast networks that are actually for that shit. But the main ones who say a lot of that stuff, man, I just want them to stop and just say, no, we want to I want to hook my wagon to people who have already made it, who have already done stuff. And this is the podcast network where you can hear your favorite famous person. Don't say you're for the creatives if you're not really helping the creatives, and you're not really pulling them out of the mud and actually molding them and actually making them into somebody. Don't do that. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I've ever asked for. And it's just a mission of mine to be able to build my platform up so I can have other people shine. Man, you can't there's not a lot of people who work as hard as Rain Coleman, or who can put the commentary out there, or who can talk about Black culture when it comes to entertainment better than Rain Coleman. I don't give a fuck who you are. I fucking feel that way about him. There's not a lot of people who could talk music with Sid Davis. I feel like Sid Davis in the Social Introvert podcast is one of those podcasts where he most definitely understands the music. He knows what he does outside of the box things. And a lot of times he's probably one of the best trolls I've ever heard in my life. But Sid, I respect Sid. I love Sid, and I think he does a great job. You cannot tell me that even though Whitney and Rose are actually just starting and they're coming up, they get listens, bro. People fuck with them. You get what I'm saying? Those are the type of thing. It's just, I know what's on my team and I know what I have. It's just a simple fact of being able to get sponsorship and partnering with the right people to be able to bring this thing to bigger heights than what I've ever seen or known. You know what I'm saying? Right. I think, but the networking part is a little harder than what I thought it would be, and just bringing the numbers to where they need to be. It's just it's tough. It's tough, and I'm still learning, and I'm still figuring things out. But you know, I just get real upset when it comes to people saying, "Yo, we're for the creators," and it's just like, no, you for people who have already been somewhere and done something. And I'm like, they've made their money. When are you gonna start putting some people who are independent on and helping them grow their business? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm out at all of the events that maybe I should show up at to be a podcast. I gotta move too, but I ain't got all the money in the world either.
That's true.
It takes money to travel to some of these places. I ain't got it. I got other expenses on top of my bills to help to make this shit shake. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm trying, I'm learning, and I'm doing as much as I possibly can to get this thing moving the way it needs to move. And I know it takes time. And again, it's like it's a whole different ball game when you have legitimate paperwork. And that's how I'm trying to move differently, man. I just want to make sure I got my paperwork legit. So I'm just trying to move accordingly. That's all.
Good. And that's all you will, man. You will, because I feel that passion emanating from you, man. And I think it's one of the greatest things about your personality, as well as, because you've always been a leader. You've always been a very paramount person when it comes to things that you enjoy, you love, and you care about. So yeah, absolutely, bro. I believe in you. Hey, man. Day one, man. I see you.
But yeah, if you want to catch me on social media, those are my social media stuff. But yeah, no, man, just support just give us a little bit of support. A little bit of reading something helps. Just listening to the radio station for 5 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes out of your day, helps. Listening to a live radio show that we put together helps. And we're not I've never asked anybody for money. I just need time. I need growth. I need to show that we're actually doing something that matters and that counts, so we can finally just get what we need to have sponsorships, to have partnerships and things of that nature. That's all I've ever asked anybody to do. We ain't doing Patreons. We're not doing those types of things, because I just feel like I feel like we can put out a quality product without having to be behind a paywall. And that's just my belief. I think a lot of people look at me as some fool.
No,
but
I believe that too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like I understand the paywall, but
you don't want to go that route, and I get it.
I feel like when you people put up paywalls so they can say salacious bullshit, and then once they say that salacious bullshit, they kind of regret it, and then it's like, well, it's one thing to try to be completely open and honest behind a paywall, but a lot of that open and honest is bullshit. I don't give a fuck when anybody says. People try to sell secrets behind paywalls, bro. And I feel like shit, man. Fuck it. If we selling our soul, we might as well sell that bitch for free.
Out front,
because not everybody who has a Patreon is actually giving it up like they say they're giving it up. I don't give a fuck what anybody say.
Exactly. Look at him. Look out. I'm proud of you. Look, boy, the growth. Ooh. Proud of you, Cole Jackson.
Let me eat my fruit snack. No, man. Thank you for having me on, because I'll be another 30 minutes. Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate you. This is like my first interview for real.
I appreciate you, brother, just coming on and because I was just like, yo, because I told Cole, I was like, or Rain Cole, I was like, yo, man, we should try to get Cole Jackson. He said, yeah, you should. He should get it. And I was just like, yo, I'm gonna ask. And so I really love this interview series that I've done, just because I've talked to some very influential people, like all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have been very influential in the nerd culture, the community, and just even in what you're doing. It's just, I feel something special coming from all of y'all, and I think it's a wonderful thing. So I'm glad I'm able to get it and put it on the show. Yeah. And just let my fans see it and let everybody see it while Chris is away, you know what I'm saying, taking care of the family.
My cousin.
And, yeah, that's right. And
if y'all don't know, Leroy Ketchum is my cousin.
Can you not tell?
That's why ain't no slander on here this episode.
That's right.
I go to war for that one. I go to war for that man.
They really will.
I go to war for that one. You will let y'all know now.
You would go to war for him, and then I want to say too, thank you so much for. I don't think that I could ever. If you had live calls, I don't think I'd be able to call in, because I think you just blocked me immediately. Because I remember you did the Nas thing, and I was just like, oh, my favorite is It Was Written. And then remember, I don't know if you remember, a long time ago when me and Chris were talking about Nas, and I was like, yeah, King Disease sucked. And you were just like, oh my God. Yo, it was the funniest. It was so as soon as I said it, I just felt I was like, I feel a Cole Jackson email coming. The next day, you were
Grammy winning.
Sorry, man. I just
King's Disease. Probably one of the best runs Nas has ever had. King Disease 2, and Magic. And this slander that's coming from your pie hole. You are a terrible person, and you should not talk about music ever. King Disease was amazing. That was amazing, bro. You pissed me off so much.
Because I was like, sorry, man, it was written for me.
Nas killed that album.
And you were just like, the audacity for you to say King's Disease was terrible.
That takes some gorilla balls, because that album is amazing. All three of those albums, the King Disease 2, and Magic, you have lost your fucking mind, bro. Seriously. You have lost him. Somebody else said that. I listened to another podcast and somebody said that. I was like, man, I need to get on a plane and slap that nigga.
Because we talked about it. He said, I don't know why I be playing no King Disease. I'm tired of you.
I love that album. I'm probably going to have one of the... This is going to be one of my toughest top 10 years. I don't know how I'm going to make a top 10.
Yeah, because I saw you were talking about... Now, I hadn't sat down and listened to it before you go. I wanted to ask you more about the Freddie Gibbs album, because I hadn't sat down and listened to it yet, bro. And you were just like, yo, just so. And you know what? This is good, because this is riled up Freddie Gibbs too, because you already the beef with everybody and their mama. So
Gibbs. So Freddie, here we go. How much time we got left? Freddie Gibbs has probably had one of the best runs, starting with I think it was 2019. He came out with Freddie. He did Freddie. He did a project called Freddie. He did a joint project with Currency called Fetty. He did Pinata. He did Alfredo, and now he dropped Soul separately. That's one of the best runs I've ever seen from an artist.
Where was Bandana in that? Because Bandana was good. Don't forget about Bandana. That's what made me fall in love.
Bandana was was it Bandana Pinata?
Because that was the one he did with what's that guy's name?
God. Okay, no, it was Bandana. I'm sorry, I get it. It's him and Madlib. But it was Freddie. It was Freddie. It was the Fetty album. He did Bandana. He did Alfredo, which got nominated for a Grammy, and he just dropped Triple S, and that's like the best 5-run album. That's the best 5 album run I've ever seen out of an artist.
Okay.
And Triple S
I was seeing you talk about it on Twitter. You were just like, "Yo, y'all gotta listen to this." And I was like,
"That shit is."
Because I didn't even know he was dropping. I was like, "He dropping another?"
He had been talking about Triple S for a while, man. He had been talking about Triple S for a minute, and he was talking about this is gonna be another one of those. And he had been talking about Triple S ever since I think Grammys when he lost to Nas, and he had been talking about Triple S. The fucking album's phenomenal. The album's phenomenal. But now, I don't know when you're gonna drop this interview, but Lil Baby just dropped. The Lil Baby album.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Really?
Lil Baby album is amazing, bruh. This guy rapping his ass off. No, I'm serious. Lil Baby is rapping his ass. This album is really good.
I like the phrase you used once. Is he rapping "Pay the Rent" again? Like how J. Cole's rapping on that one album? I was like,
nah, man.
J. Cole.
It's Only Me has 23 songs. I've probably skipped probably 3 of them.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, he rapping. And he has great features on here. The features work. Everything's working on this album. Production's good. Everything working on this album. He's got several different types of songs. Like he ain't just talking about one thing.
Right.
It just works. It works. Okay. And I'm just like, oh shit. I was like, this is another one that might be in my top 10 is gonna be hard because this has been probably one of the best music years we've had in a while. Yeah. Tory Lanez album, Tory Lanez dropped the album last week. His shit is good. It's just we've forgotten consistent shit. The Takeoff and Quavo album. All the Bill for Infinity Links is good. I ain't gonna make it to my top 10.
Nah.
But
I hadn't heard it, but I've heard like people are just like, okay.
Triple S is steadily climbing up on my list of top 10 albums. I can't stop listening to it. Like I cannot. That's one of those.
I gotta listen to it now, bro, because Bandana was that for me. I like Alfredo, but
see, you like Madlib, and you like. I mean, nothing against Madlib or Alchemist because I think they're amazing.
They are
amazing producers.
Right.
This has a lot of different producers on here, and it might be some producers that you don't like. He got a song with Justice League on this album.
God, stop.
Come on, nigga. That's like my favorite song on that Rabbit Vision.
Yeah.
This by Justice League. Oh.
Well, so even on my side of the spectrum of music, of shit that I like, it's been a big year. Like, of course, Kendrick Lamar, not most stuff, I'm sorry, but Black Thought with like Danger Mouse doing Chico.
Yeah, that album was dope. Woo! You should listen to so next week the 28th. There's a cat that you need to listen to. Let's see, was the in 2 weeks. So you need to go to your streaming service, and I know somebody who you'll like. His name is Your Old Droog, and he sounds like Nas.
Okay.
But he's white.
Okay. All right.
But he's dope. Your Old Droog, he dropped something earlier. I think you would like him.
Okay, because I like. And I wish he put out more. I need to see what he's doing. But Dear Solace, I start liking him.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Like it's
and
been a big
I
year.
see. I don't know what type of rap you like, man. To be honest with you, because I don't know if you dig Boldy. Like Boldy James just dropped something with Nick Craven last week, and that shit is fire as hell.
See, I might like him because like I started liking because of like you and Shogun liking Benny the Butcher. Like, oh my god, Benny the Butcher
Benny's
is,
fire.
phew.
Benny's
And
fire.
of
West
course,
Side Gun's about to drop something new.
West Side Gun. That
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, it's but your old Droog is
Mhm,
he's one of them. He sounds like Nas, and
mhm.
he's got those grimy basement type beats,
Okay,
and I think you
okay,
might like that type stuff. So
okay.
I don't
Let me
know.
ask you this.
I'm always giving putting out music
Well, that's
stuff.
good. I like that though. Let me ask you this too. You're a music nerd. What happened to Rumor? Where did he go? Rumor just appeared and disappeared.
I have no idea.
Cause I like at first I was like Rumor's so weird, but then as I listened to more of his music, I was like, I fucks with Rumor,
If
and
you
then he
like
just
Rumor,
magically disappeared.
check out IDK.
Somebody else told me that. Okay, okay,
IDK is dope as hell. His newest project, which I think is called Taco,
hmm
and it's one of my top albums of this year. Is completely produced by K Tronada, and it's
okay,
awesome.
okay.
So check out IDK. I think it's called Taco. Is it called? Let me check real quick. No, it's called Simple. One of the songs in there is called Taco. The album's called Simple. It's 8 songs. Every album tells a story.
hmm
Um, his his um his last album, You See for Yourself, was basically about it was about a relationship between him, his mom, and somebody his mom was dating, and it just ends really bad. And then he had another album called Is He Real, which is basically a song about album about finding God. It's wow.
Wow.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
but the dude is dope as hell. Um, but Simple is just a very it's just a very good album. And then I don't know if you're a K Tronada fan or not, but anything K Tronada puts his hands on is completely worth it. So
Okay.
he has the Simple album, and you should check it out. It's awesome. It's one of my top albums of the year too. I don't know
Okay.
what I'm gonna do because I have so many different. I've listened to so many different albums and so
I'm
many
gonna
different.
have to definitely listen because tell me you're gonna do a live stream of your top 10. Tell me you're
I
at
don't
least
know.
like because that would be a good idea if you did a top stream or a
Um,
live stream of like the top 10 albums that you were just like, yo, this is the year.
I'm gonna be honest. Me, well, that's not really exposing anything. So, Sid Davis and myself are really gonna do. We're gonna do our top 10 on his podcast on Social
Okay.
Introvert. So we're
Okay.
gonna talk about our top 10, our end of the year top 10 on his pod. So if you want to catch that, you'll have to catch it on the Social Introvert at the end of the year, and we're gonna
Okay.
talk about our top 10 albums. I'm probably gonna have multiple lists because I can't put because I've it's a ton of R&B and alternative stuff that I like. There's this album. Oh, I'm taking up all your time. There's this is my last thing. I'm gonna get off your shit. There's an
You're fine, sir.
album. There's an artist by the name of Ombre who has an album called
I've
3000
heard of
Degrees.
Ombre.
Oh my god, I fucking love her album. She's actually gonna be
Okay.
performing in Atlanta in the I think next month, and I might
Okay.
try to get tickets to go see her. But Ombre and 3000 Degrees, I fucking love that album. That album's amazing. And if you don't have in your rotation, there's something wrong with you. But I love that album. That album's dope as hell. It's a lot of artists that I've came across. Gwen Bunn, if you like alternative type R&B stuff, she's
hmm
good. Yaya Banks. God, man, it's a lot of them.
Okay.
Kenyon Dixon. Eric Bellinger's about to drop something new. There's a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
man.
Bellinger is really dope. I didn't know that was him singing with Usher on the Tiny Desk. That
Mhm.
was dope. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
I've been
this
an
is
Eric
dope.
Bellinger fan for a long time, and nobody talks about him. He comes to
Yeah, like
Birmingham every now and again, but don't nobody, y'all niggas don't fuck with R&B that heavy though. So
I yeah, I don't especially, but I listened to him like a few years ago, and I was just like, Okay, like I think it was around the pandemic. I was like, Eric Bellinger? All right,
Cash Page. This young lady by the name of Ray Black. She's dope as hell. It's a lot. Right now, I'm still heavy on Gwen Bunn. I hope to get the interview. I've been trying to get the interview her. She's on tour with Alex Isley right now, but Alex Isley, she dropped the album earlier this year, which is she's got an amazing voice. Sabrina Claudio. I can go on, man. Get me off of this show.
Well, listen,
and I'm an EST, and let me tell y'all something. ESTG, his shit is fire.
Okay.
What was I listening? Okay, and then you gotta listen to this dude. This album. It's called Penelope by Woody Grazelia and Jeter the Dude. It's like 5 songs, and those are some of the I fucking you have to listen to the samples of the beats that they have on these songs are amazing. But I love this album. I would try to play it on Thursday Night Lights, but they're not. The songs aren't really long enough. Like I think the longest song is like 2 minutes. But if you get a chance, Woody Grisella and Jeter the Dude, Penelope,
good stuff. Okay,
I love it.
Before you go, one last question.
Yeah,
because I'm an old school hip hop head.
Right.
I'm also like a new school hip hop head. What did you think of the new Black Star album? Because I'm gonna be honest with you about what I thought about it.
I didn't fuck with it.
I didn't like it. Okay, cool.
I didn't fuck with it.
That was me. Okay.
If you want to listen to an old school hip hop album that actually came out this year, or was it last year? Check out the Five Dog album.
Yes, the Five. Yes.
Yes. I think that was it last year when that dropped?
Yeah, like because they waited a whole
No, it was this year. It was this year. Forever.
So, okay. So they waited 2 or 3 years after the Tribe Called Quest last album, and then he put out the
Which if you want that type of feeling, because I don't know what they was on, but if you want that kind of feeling, go and listen to the Five Dog Forever album, and you'll get those feels on that. I thought it was very well put together. I'm usually pretty post-death albums. I'm not real big on.
Well, they're tough because they get rearranged so much, and then you don't know of what's the artist and then what
Yeah, I mean, listen to some of the stuff they did with Triple X Tentacion and Juice WRLD. Well, no, Juice WRLD stuff was good. King Von and Pop Smoke. Like some of those post-death albums was. I didn't really. I thought the DMX post-death album. I can't say posthumous because I think that's a weird word, so I just say post-death. But the DMX post-death album was like good, but it just didn't feel like something that X would have done.
But I'm with you on that because sometimes the soul is not there. Like it's very hard because like even the Tribe Called Quest album, I love it because it's got for the most part 2/3 of the people there. But like even when Fife was there, it was still organic. So it does sound like he had something to like his spirit was in that when he was around. So I feel you on that because I felt the same way. Because I was saying when I was to DMX, I was like, it's good, but like I miss like when you had like it's dark and hell is hot because he was still around and he orchestrated that. That energy was there because of him.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been a little bit better, but I understand why they did it. If you want a good one, if you want that type of feeling, especially kind of like how Black Star was, try the Five Dog album. It's called Forever. It's very well made. It's pretty good, and they got some really good features on there. And the features make sense to Fife.
Right. And that's another thing that a lot of post-humorous albums suffer from.
See what I'm saying? I can't even say that word. That word is for college graduates.
It's long, baby. It's long.
That's why I just be like post-deaf.
Hey, man. I detect 2 degrees. Don't mean nothing.
I ain't got none. I'm like Trick Daddy out here. I ain't got shit. Fuck it.
Terrible. Mr. Cole Jackson, thank you so much for coming to the show, man.
Thank you for having me, man. This has been an awesome interview. This has been my first interview, and I feel like I aced it. I might got B+. I don't know.
Nah, man, you aced it. This is beautiful. And I'll definitely have you back on. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to, because we don't use a lot of special guests on the Nerd Plate enough, so I'm gonna try to use more special guests and like different formulas, like just like hit y'all up, be like, hey, so trivia real quick. What was the first game to do? Blah blah blah, or something like that. I don't know. It just mix it up. So.
Gotcha.
Well, until next time, guys, I'm Rockman3K3. This has been the great Cole Jackson from the BYNK Media, aka BYNK Nation, aka I mean, it's already taken over. Y'all just don't know yet. Y'all just don't know. I can't wait. But I appreciate the talk and the passion, man. And until next time, y'all, I'll see y'all. We out. It's a Nerd Plate, baby.